Hello everyone, I'm Broughy1322 and welcome to episode 52 of the Chalking Hazard podcast. With what are now my usual co-hosts, we got three of them now.
Muted.
Over that side, Nos, still here in his Domino's outfit.
Sausage. Oh, it's muted. Oh no.
They're saying you're muted.
There is sound. It's not muted.
They say it's muted. If it's muted, if they say it's muted, then it must be muted. They wouldn't lie to you.
Frank is dead. Frank is dead.
I mean, I'm looking at it and it's not muted. It's not muted. They're all having your life.
Someone had their own computer muted.
Oh, what a scumbag! Anyway, Nos over there.
Reset.
No, I'm not resetting. This is it.
Right.
This is our life now.
This is my time. This is my time. Josh. There you go.
Here we go. No.
Oh, I didn't mute the alerts though. That's been a mistake.
This will be a 30-minute episode.
I didn't mute the alerts. Okay, it's been a good start. So right, Nos is over there in his Domino's outfit, going to work straight after this. Do you have to leave like straight away? Like what time? Yes. What's your time limit? Like where are we going?
As soon as I can. The store's falling apart, and I'm the only one that's stable.
Okay.
I'm not joking, by the way.
Okay.
This is not a joke.
That's why he's in his work outfit and you just go straight away.
Yes.
RDT down there in
Hello.
his Park City, Utah shirt that we're going to hear all about. And he decided to return. Josh over there. Josh was.
I'm in the closest thing to a uniform I have. This is an ESA hoodie.
There you go.
We obviously didn't scare him off enough last month, so we'll have to see what happens this month.
If you had the pre-show, I'm a little scared now.
Yeah, the pre-show's already done it.
Nobody heard the pre-show.
And in the is it? Do you say ether or ether? What's the right way to say that word?
Ether.
Ether. In the ether with the wonderful voice in the background is MB Hammer, our producer.
He's in the booth.
He's in the booth.
He's in the booth.
Hey
Hammer, can you pull up moose hunting for me on the screen, please?
Moose hunting? Yep, we can do that.
Do you want to Rio Skate Fox just reheating Domino's pizza leftovers for breakfast? There you go.
Wow, God bless. Man, that's
God
great.
bless.
That's great.
That's
great.
I guess I was going to start with my week of misery to explain to everybody why I'm so tired and why these guys are going to be carrying me through the podcast. But then, as we discussed
you realize we carry you anyway, and there's no need to explain.
That's a fair point. Yeah. But then I kind of we talked about it on the pre-show and how miserable myself and Nos are, and how we shouldn't bring that energy to the podcast.
Yes, good energy, high energy, big energy. Come on, let's go. Big energy.
So I guess I'll tell the quick version of the story with a happy ending. The GP1 Poppy, one of my guinea pigs, had a significant issue this week called bloat. Guinea pigs can suffer badly from this.
Yeah, that's when tire pressure gets too high, right?
Pretty much, but in a guinea pig, yeah. But no, it was pretty, like, guinea pigs can die pretty quickly from it, and it was pretty serious because it was in a place that couldn't really be gotten at in any kind of veterinary surgical way. So we basically, I went there to the vets and she explained what was wrong, and we came back and we had a various amount of things that we could do, but both myself and Xerxes were pretty much like, oh my god, I can't believe she's good. We thought we were going to lose her because it was that bad. Thought she wasn't going to be with us anymore. So what we had to do essentially is massage her stomach. We put her on a warm hot water bottle. We got an electric toothbrush, the other side of it, the smooth side, and rubbed that on her stomach as well. Basically anything that we could do to try and work through some of this gas that she had in the wrong place out of her body. Because guinea pigs don't fart, by the way. So that's a significant problem. And we had to she wasn't eating because of the pain from it. So we had to kind of get her to eat something to make things go through her system. So then I went back to the vets the next day, and it was completely gone in one place, but had shifted to the stomach at that point. It was in the intestine, and then now it was in the stomach. Completely new, because obviously the stomach's first. But that's a lot easier for the vet to fix, because they can put a tube down her throat and take some of the gas out from the stomach directly, which is kind of crazy that they can do something like that. So that was the next day, and then we went back on the third day. This was like I'd had 4 vet trips in 3 days, and it was 40 minutes to drive there and back each time. But when we went back the final day, she was all right, and everything's fine now. We're still monitoring her and making sure she's okay, but as it is right now, it was a very close call, but she's okay. So she made a comeback.
That's what we like to hear.
She made a big comeback, GP1.
Good.
But then we had to go to the vets again today because GP2, Daisy, has hurt herself and she's limping a little bit. So that's the next thing, but that's not as bad of a issue as, what Poppy was.
What did she do to hurt herself?
We don't know.
She was so distraught she threw herself off the top of the guinea pig hut.
Off the top rope.
That's wild.
Landed on
That's
her
terrible.
leg.
We did get
It
GP2
was quite
X-rayed today, and I think she's got a little bit of arthritis in one of her feet. I think that's and it's just flared up a little bit. So that's the issue at the moment, but it's not as major of an issue. It's something that can be managed. But yeah, I basically had 5 trips to the vet in 4 days and spent £300 mainly on X-rays, and we still have guinea pigs. So that's the most important thing.
Here, America over here, I'm only 300. Wow, that's impressive.
Yeah, well,
I was gonna say, can guinea pigs have insurance? Like,
I don't know actually. I've not really looked into it because I've kind of assumed that maybe it's not worth it, or maybe it's something to look into. But
how much were the guinea pigs?
The guinea pigs were £25 each 3 years ago. So
you could buy 10 guinea pigs.
Yeah, we could have bought many guinea pigs, but
it's almost as if it's a living creature with its own personality. That they love that individual creature.
Yeah.
It's not like it's not a car.
yeah.
Totally.
I'm on his side.
They have such big personalities for such little. They're not like hamsters.
I'm on
where they're all the
his side
same.
because I'm not on his side. Because that's exactly how I would look at it. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I can't look at it like that.
So yeah, it's been a tough few days and not much sleep on the first night specifically, but yeah, it's all okay right now. So good, a good thing to say. Let's have some positive energy to start the podcast. But at least everybody knows now why I might be a little bit subdued and tired. So
yeah, wow, that's tough.
Yeah, but we've still got them, so hopefully we can have them for some more years. The first thing on the list of things to talk about, GTA 4. Has everybody heard about this? The changes that have been made?
I thought we were going to talk about RDT.
No, what happened with GTA 4?
RDT's on the list. We will get to RDT's trip.
Oh, is it later?
Yeah,
Oh, okay.
GTA 4's had some changes made to it, or is going to have some changes made to it, because Games for Windows Live is going to be no more, or it already is no more. I don't know. I can't remember. No, it already is no more, right? They've already shut down Games for Windows Live, and GTA 4 doesn't work anymore because of that. So they removed it from Steam, I think.
This is when I do the annoying I know about this thing.
Yes, do.
Yeah,
I've already said
okay.
you're carrying me this stream. I'm just in the background. I'm a guest.
Okay. So, Games Windows Live shut down ages ago, right? And Rockstar didn't care. They just left it. Whereas all these other devs are like taking Games Windows Live out and fixing it and making the multiplayer work again with Steamworks or whatever. But Rockstar just sat on it until Microsoft completely dropped developer support for it, so they couldn't generate any more keys. So they stockpiled a ton of keys, and they were using that on Steam because you have to verify it through Games Windows Live. And then they ran out of keys, and then they couldn't sell the game anymore. As soon as they couldn't sell the game anymore, they were like, we should probably do something about this Games Winners Live thing. And it's been like 5 years since it's been shut down.
That is typical Rockstar.
Yeah. But I read this while I was at ESA on my phone, and I was like sat in the stream room, just uncontrollably angry at what they had done.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Someone who actually still plays old GTA games, kind of, not target audience, but affected quite a lot by this. Have you seen do you want to read what they did?
Well, the main thing I read what they're doing. They're basically mashing GTA and episodes from Liberty City Stories. Episodes. What is it called? It's episodes from Liberty City, isn't it?
Yeah, episodes from Liberty City.
They're mashing those together into GTA Complete Collection, but really it's an incomplete game because they don't have a lot of the features that were in GTA 4.
Hey, you remember that music you liked? You remember it?
Yeah, a lot of music's not going to be there.
It's gone now.
But the main thing is, I feel like
all of the custom radios for episodes of Liberty City aren't in there. They removed all of them. Ram Jam FM, Self-Actualization FM, and Vice City FM. They just
wait. What? They're just gone. Like the stations are gone.
The whole radio said the official statement is the following radio stations will be temporarily unavailable in GTA 4 Complete Edition: Ram Jam FM, Self-Actualization, and Vice City. It says previously available in episodes from Liberty City. I don't think it's a music license thing. I think it's just where they've jammed the two games together. The radio from episode of Liberty City doesn't work in 4.
Probably.
So they just fucking removed it.
But the worst thing is multiplayer.
Yeah,
just gone. Just
Forever.
gone. You have the PC version of GTA 4, you're not playing multiplayer.
Ever again.
Ever again.
Ever again.
All the leaderboards, which were somewhat useful for speedruns a little bit.
It's so bad. Like that is so and to call it the complete edition as well, when they don't even have a big portion of the game, which was the multiplayer. Like we went back and played GTA 4 multiplayer once or twice, and it was a really good fun. And I kind of wanted to do it again, especially with being able to do it at 60 FPS and all that kind of stuff. And that's gone. That's out of the window now. Can't do that.
Yeah,
oh, that's a good question. I guess the multiplayer on PlayStation and Xbox 360 still works.
I assume so.
Possibly, yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, they just tore it all out. All these other game devs fix the multiplayer and make it work with Steamworks or release it publicly or whatever. I can't remember any examples right now, but this has definitely happened before. But then Rockstar are so lazy and just sit on it until they can't sell the game anymore. And then they just fucking rip everything out. And the worst thing is it updates current versions. So when all the conversations I've seen about this have been like, oh, I never bought the expansions, and now I get the expansions for free. Woo, this is so happy, right? But it's like, no, this is awful. So they've removed the previous 2 versions of the game, which all have mod support, and for me personally, I have
mod support.
Yeah, but mods are supported for it. Not, you know what I mean. But then I have speedrun installations where I get all the settings right, I get it loading correctly as fast as possible, and this other stuff, and they've just removed it and merged it into this crappy version. So now I have to remake everything, and the fucking radio's gone.
Well, at least you can't get copyright. You can't get copyright strike anymore because there's no music.
Yeah,
but it's just so crazy, and I'm not even sure the physical media will even work. But it's so annoying because Rockstar are in a perfect position to just make it work. They have Social Club. They have GTA 5 working on their Social Club stuff.
Yeah, they don't need games for Windows Live to make a multiplayer game. They can just...
Yeah.
Oh.
Other smaller developers with less resources have made brand new online ecosystems just for their Games for Windows Live games. Rockstar already has one and doesn't port it.
It's because Rockstar doesn't have any money, remember? It's expensive to make games.
Yeah. Everyone's just like, oh, whenever I complain about this, everyone's just like, oh, Joshua, they gave you the expansions free, shut up. And it's like, they've sold
who has said that? Call them out right now. Call them out. Call them out.
Name and shame.
But Rockstar sell the best-selling piece of media in history with recurrent spending built into it. It's not like a film where you pay $15 and watch it once. This is $60, and then you buy more, and it's the best-selling thing ever. They must have so much money.
Billions they've got.
Yeah,
Billions, literal
Not to mention-
billions, and they have to
tax
remove
breaks.
multiplayer from GTA 4.
whenever like music licenses get removed, it's like, oh well, they couldn't renegotiate the license. It's like they could fucking buy the company that owns the license. Like fucking, of course they can fix it.
It's insane. It is. It's really. It's a shame. It's a shame that they've butchered it so badly.
Yeah.
After sitting on it for so long, like it was always going to get to this point, and then they waited. They could have spent 5 years with like an hour a day just working on it. But no.
Yeah, they must have had so much.
How much you want to bet this version of the game runs worse too? Somehow, magically, runs worse.
Every update they released to the game has made it run worse for me. I always downgrade.
And they added a random British guy for those tax breaks too.
Just Gavin. The Gavin guy is just inexplicably in there.
Come on.
So yeah, rip GTA 4, or at least rip GTA 4 multiplayer and episodes from Liberty City Music. If you're on PC, of course. This is kind of, it makes you miss the old days of where you would buy a game, PS3, 360, or before that, and you can go back now. You can insert the disc into an Xbox 360 of GTA 4 and get the same experience with all the old music and all that kind of stuff. Kind of makes you miss those days when games get updated.
Well, I mean,
for the
I guess you could always just get a pirated, old version of GTA 4.
Yeah, there's ways around it, but it's just like I shouldn't have to pirate a game I own, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely not.
But yeah, normally I feel like all of the other games like San Andreas and Vice City and stuff, I own like physical copies of those for this exact reason. But on this, it doesn't work because they say in the post, like they updated the physical media, so you can't use that either.
Unreal. Speaking of
Xbox Master Race.
of the actual multiplayer that Rockstar cares about, GTA Online, open wheel cars have been released.
How bad is
this
it?
week.
I haven't played it.
How bad is it?
How bad is it?
Yeah.
So,
I go on.
I mean, have you played it, RDT?
I've driven the car. I've never done any races. I went into a party late Thursday or Wednesday, and people said it was not good. The races that they put out are not very good. But I feel like that tends to be the case with a lot of these updates, is what Rockstar makes is going to be way worse than what the community is going to be able to make once they allow us to do that.
Yeah. It's classic Rockstar GTA Online implementation where they make something fantastic and they implement it terribly. So the cars themselves are really good. The actual models of the cars and all the different spoilers and stuff that you can have on them and the liveries, they're all fine. They're all good. Great cars. They could do with significantly higher top speed to make them interesting to race from our perspective, but I mean, from what it looks like, the vast majority of regular people can't drive the cars in races even as slow as they are right now. So, but the actual things that they've made and put in are good. The wings actually change downforce levels on the car in free mode. I'll come on to that. So you can either have like a high top speed setup for the car and get a higher top speed, or a high downforce setup and you'll take the corners quicker but have a lower top speed. And there's all the variations that you can do in between that. So each different spoiler or wing modification changes that. So that aspect is really good.
Probably just placebos, I'm going to be honest.
But yeah, that aspect is really good. And then you get into the implementation of it, which is actually, I think Rethan94 in the chat says it absolutely perfectly. It's like F1 cars on Formula E tracks. That is a perfect example. The tracks that they've made are like they're all just metal barriers everywhere, really tight in certain places. They're just not capable of being a good track for F1 cars. And I guess we shouldn't have expected that. But in addition to that, there's 7 tracks. You can't use them in the creator. You can't make your own open wheel races right now. I think that the whole pit lane and pit stop mechanics and things like that work very well as well. But
Pit stops?
yeah. In the open wheel races, you can have there's 3 different types of tire:
All right.
hard, medium, and soft.
Oh, okay.
And the soft will be the quickest but last the least amount of time, and there's an actual tire wear gauge in the bottom right, and the only way to either fix your car if it gets damaged or get the tire wear back to full again is to drive into the pit lane. And they've got a specific pit lane that you drive into, it slows you down, then you come to a stop, fixes the car, and you drive away again. So
It just sounds like they took the idea from you.
well, I suppose, but I mean the main issue with the wheels is that there isn't enough of a pace difference between the tires to make you want to use softs and do a pit stop. You're always going to try to use the hardest tires that will get you through the race without making a pit stop. But in most random online races that these have done, from all the reports that I've heard, it's just a crash fest. So you might as well use soft tires because you're going to have to pit anyway to fix the damage when someone rear ends you and knocks off your rear wing or your front wing, which does impact performance. So if you in the races, if you get your rear wing knocked off, you'll slide around, you won't have any grip on the back of the car, and you'll lose the back end. So you have to, and respawning doesn't help, so you have to come into the pits to fix that. And because people can't drive, the races are just and the tracks are so small and tight, and it's just a mess from all I've heard. In addition to that, all that stuff that I was talking about with the downforce levels changing and having different setups for the cars, none of it actually works in the races. So it only works in free roam. As soon as you go into an open wheel race, the downforce values default back to the normal whatever you've got on, and it's just the same.
Man, that's just great.
So what's the point? You know, like,
but you know why, don't you? It's because the cheapest wings make you go faster. So everybody would use the cheap wings.
The cheap wings do make you go faster in a straight line for top speed, but they would give you less grip in the corners. But
you don't really
need it. Yeah, they
Yeah.
grip so well that you're going to just want to choose the highest top speed setup in most cases anyway. But the main problem is that it's the tracks. The tracks themselves, as always, you know, it's like Rockstar created stunt tracks where the community have made so much better stuff. But there's no way for the community to create their own open wheel races yet. So it's classic Rockstar implementation of what is good content and a good idea, really.
Yeah, it's this. Whenever I hear anything about GTA 5, it's always, oh, it's really good. Asterisk. There's always, always one thing that messes it up, or more, every time. I mean, it sounds cool in concept, but yeah, I can't imagine like Formula E city tracks with random GTA Online players and destructible cars. There's never gonna.
No.
Like the massive front wings and stuff. Yeah.
No.
Terrible.
Yeah. So I guess all we can do is, it might be a bug. It might be just something that they've overlooked when it comes to the setups not working in races. You know, that might be a bug and that might be fixed. And there's no actual, from what I've heard, tunable that they can flip a switch to make open wheel races available in the creator. So that's going to have to wait for another update. So at the moment, we're just kind of waiting and seeing and hoping that they allow us to do something better with it.
See, this is the sort of thing, when I used to play GT Online like 3 years ago, this was the sort of thing that I was just like, oh, I wish they'd add open wheel cars into the game. It was so cool. And they finally done it. It's just like, I don't care anymore. Like, so moved on. What
I
are you
know.
laughing at? You got something you guys want to share?
Nas put his next vehicle in chat, and it's promising. It looks like he's moving up in the world.
Conversation, so
I'm showing it on the screen so everybody can marvel in the majesty of this vehicle.
that's the best Craigslist vehicle listing I've ever seen.
He's getting poached by another company.
Look at that interior, though.
Yeah, you could live in that.
I could live in the wiener. Yeah.
That's special. Cryptocurrency, okay, as well. If you want to pay by cryptocurrency, that's fine.
Oh, there you go then.
God, you could just about stream from that, Nos. Got a good setup on the go in there.
I can't, dude. I want to. I'm with the people on Reddit. I want a YouTuber to buy it and LS swap it, and then there you go. Boom.
And that is a perfect example of anything to do with GTA Online these days. That is more interesting and better.
Yeah, that's way more interesting. All right.
Whatever. It's like the only good thing I can think of for the open wheel stuff and the damageable wings and stuff is like, oh, they'll probably use that in 5M.
Exactly.
But then 5M already had F1 cars way before. They basically just copied 5M. Project Homecoming already had it.
They have damage and adjustable aero though.
Yeah. Oh, adjustable aero, I don't think they have, but they have damage. I don't know whether the damage actually affects anything.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Yeah.
That sort of stuff would be.
I can't
maybe.
remember now.
Yeah. They can definitely use that depending on how complicated it is. I don't know how.
They copied it, yet made it even worse. Classic Rockstar.
Yeah, the 5M ones are even better because you can knock the wheels off. You can't knock the wheels off on the on the vanilla ones.
Yeah, it's pretty fun coming out of the pits.
Blade says we did actually, but turned it off because it was bad for actual racing.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, your wing gets knocked out, and that's what people were complaining about in the comments of the video. Like, there's no point in choosing anything other than soft wheels because you're gonna have to pit anyway because people are just driving backwards and your wings get knocked off 500 times. It's just a mess. So yes, maybe stay away from the races until they release them in the creator and people can actually make their own stuff that works better. RDT, tell us about your trip. You've been wanting to give us some, positive things to the stream. Let's do it.
Oh my God, my trip
positivity.
to Park City, Utah
We need to
was
feed
the
off your positivity.
greatest vacation I have ever taken. I don't know if you're gonna pull up any of the pictures, the 3 that I put in there.
I can if you want me to.
Yeah, just to give people an idea.
All right.
I went. So last Friday, I flew out, landed in Salt Lake City. We took me and 7 other friends. Actually, 2 of them missed their flight, so they had to come the next day. That's a whole other issue. But one of us was flying out of Boston. 3 or 4 of us were flying out of Newark, and then we all met up. And we landed in Salt Lake City. We embraced. We haven't seen each other in a long while, and then we took a shuttle to Park City to our condo that we were renting, and it's a 2-hour difference. So we landed at 9. It was 11 our time. We got there around 10 o'clock, and just drank and partied a little bit, and then got up 7 o'clock the next morning. The lifts opened at 9. They opened at 9, and we just went all out for 4 days, just snowboarding from the lifts opening at 9, most of the time until 3 or 4 when they closed. And it was just 4 days of exhaustion and exhilaration and snow and powder and fun. And it was the greatest trip of my entire life. We would snowboard all day, go to the hot tub, drink, go out, eat, and then just have a grand old time. And the views were like nothing I've ever seen. Mountain ranges as far as you could see. I mean, if you didn't think the earth was flat before that, you could be sure that it is flat now, because I didn't see a single curve. And it was just so amazing. 2 days, the first 2 days, it was perfectly sunny, not a cloud in the sky. I got sunburned to hell. I'm peeling right now. Third day, they said it was going to be a little cloudy. We ended up getting snow, so we got fresh powder. And then the last day was perfectly sunny again. It was 4 of us that went out on the last day. 2 had left. One of them was working, and then one of them got hurt. Not from falling or anything, just kind of from injuries that he had sustained throughout his life. and the intensity of the skiing that he was doing was a little bit too much. And I'd put off going through trees because I wasn't super comfortable. I hadn't gone snowboarding in a couple of years. And the last day I was like, you know what? If I break my arm now, I'm not missing out on any days. And we just went through fresh snow, made our own trails through trees and just popped out of places. It was amazing. And it was exactly what I needed because I never take any time off. And to be able to get genuinely exhausted and worn out from something that was so fun was such a great contrast to my 9 to 6 getting exhausted and worn out from people and work.
Yeah.
I had to show up Wednesday night for like a happy hour for a coworker that was leaving. And I just hugged everyone. I was like, I am so happy right now. It's great to see you, but it was so great. Oh man, it was amazing. It was the best trip of my life.
It just gives you such a feel good positivity all the way through.
Yeah, it makes you realize just that you need to do those things. You need to do things that are fun and hang out with friends and stuff. Because
I feel attacked.
Yeah, well,
me too, kind of.
You got to do it, like, because I hadn't done it. I didn't take any time off.
We were saying not too long ago how you hadn't had really any time off since you started working a new job, right?
Yeah, I never really took my vacation because I never really had any aspirations to do that. But the group of guys that I went to Colorado last year, and I was like, I don't really feel like going. And I was just like, you know what, screw it, I'm gonna go. And we already have next year's trip planned. We're going to Wyoming. It's gonna be sick. I'm so pumped, and I'm gonna buy a snowboard this time because I was supposed to rent like the newest top of the line stuff, which I did. That was the package I bought. And they gave me a snowboard that was like, I don't even know, 5 years old. And I went back after the first day. I was like, okay, you know what? I'll ride this. I'll see what it's like. And I brought it back. I was like, hey, I was supposed to get the demo package. And I don't know. And they were like, oh, that is the demo package. It's just a different illustration on the board. I was like, I don't know about that. And they're like, no, look. And I was like, okay, whatever. And so I just rode with the old board for all 4 days. And it worked out fine. It was so great. It was amazing.
I've never been skiing or snowboarding. Do you recommend it?
Yes, 100%. Yes.
I mean, I like snow. Snow is one of my favorite things, but like I don't know how I would.
It's too cold.
I mean, you guys have great ranges out there in that side of the world. You can go to the Alps, which would be a sick trip just to do that. You can go to France, you can go to Austria or something.
Yeah.
You can go back. I'm sure they have skiing in Sweden, right?
I would imagine.
Probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, do it there, And from what I've heard, skiing is easier to pick up but harder to master. And snowboarding is like harder to pick up and easier. Wait, no. I don't know. One of those is
one of those.
Yeah, but I think skiing is probably easier.
Yeah.
Skiing is easier to do and harder to master. Snowboarding is hard to pick up and easier to master. I don't know.
Either way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think the closest I've ever had to an experience of that, I was on a dry ski slope for like one afternoon or something. That was horrible. But
yeah, that's the thing. It's like here out east, it tends to be the mountains aren't as big. They get less snow, so it's a little bit icier. Out there, they're just dealing with fresh. I didn't see a single snow making machine. They all deal with naturally occurring snow and then groom that.
Right.
And it wasn't very icy at all. And even when it wasn't like here where it's just sleets of ice. It was like, patches, and you can manage it. It was so fun. It was great.
Have either of you two ever been skiing or snowboarding?
No.
What?
Do extreme sports. I play video games.
Okay, fair enough.
It is an extreme sport, all right. But no, of course not. I live in Alabama. I've never been out of the South. I've seen snow like 3 times in my whole life.
Okay.
Wow.
Is that true? Really? 3 times?
It's warm down there.
Yeah, about that. 3, 4, 5, under 10.
Oh,
Under
sure.
10
Wow, okay. I love snow. I think snow is my favorite.
Not for me.
Like It's my favorite situation for the world to be in. Snow.
I'm glad you're not in charge.
We're going the opposite direction for you. That's for sure.
The high of 75 and sunny. That's it. That's what you need.
75. Oh my god, we melt.
What's 75 in real terms?
Oh, I don't know. In scientific terms that aren't applicable to the human body, I don't know. I don't know what temperature it is, bruv.
24. That's pretty warm.
Pretty warm, wow. Yeah. So I had the best time of my life, and I am perfectly content with my life right now. Nothing going wrong, really.
So
I'm happy for you, RDT.
Thanks, man.
God bless.
that's a marked difference. So I think that you two on the bottom of the screen are having good times, and us two on the top are having very bad times.
It's bad times at the top of the mountain.
At least it's balanced out.
We on the top of the screen, but we down in the bottom of the valley. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Difference is we down here go on holidays or vacations or whatever.
Yeah, I guess
You
that's
guys need
it.
to do that.
I've never been on a vacation ever.
The fuck?
What? Really?
Definitely do it, man.
Like
That costs money. I'm not spending
Oh
my
my
money
God.
on myself. I
No.
gotta save it.
You just buy cars.
Yeah, exactly. That's my vacation. Every time I get behind the wheel of my Miata vacation.
Do you not want to drive your car like somewhere else, like through some mountains, valleys, stuff?
I've got plenty of mountains and valleys here. that I
Okay,
drive
I
through.
don't know.
Like,
Yeah, take
I
a
don't have to-
vacation road trip. Like you'll get away from it and be somewhere else
Yeah.
and
I don't
experience
have
some new
any
places.
friends, bruv. I'm not doing it by myself. That's sad and lonely.
Go with your mom. I've done
No,
that plenty of times.
That's way worse. That's way worse. Man, like, and especially in the Miata, you just put that thing in fifth, 4,000 RPM, 80 miles an hour, 7 hours. You're gonna want to die. You don't do that.
All right, fair enough. Let's not
No,
bring
so
the
I'm actually
podcast
gonna
down
be
too
by
much.
you. In June, I'm going to be down in Georgia for a wedding.
Okay, let's meet up.
Yeah, definitely. Drive on over to Atlanta, and we'll meet up for a dinner or something like that.
Oh, I have to drive all the way to Atlanta. You won't meet me like halfway.
Yeah. You have the car. I'm going to be flying in.
Oh, rent a car, nerd. Come on.
How long would it take you to drive to Atlanta? I don't even know where any of these are. These
It's
places
like-
are.
Can't be
3 hours, maybe.
3 hours.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
I don't know, but I mean, you'd have to go through like all the junctions and stuff in Atlanta. It'd be very stressful. I'm not good at
Atlanta-
under
We'll
high
schedule
stress.
a podcast so that you two can be like together in the same room as we record. That would be cool.
Atlanta to Birmingham, which I don't know if you're
Yeah.
anywhere near that.
It'd be about 4 hours or so.
2 hour, 20 minutes. That's doable. 2 hours and 20 minutes.
What?
Atlanta to Birmingham.
Oh yeah, it'd be 4 hours for me. It'd be about 4 hours.
Yeah, meet me in Birmingham.
I could meet you in Birmingham, absolutely.
Hell yeah.
All
I
right,
could
there we
definitely
go.
do that.
I'll just ditch my family and be like, hey, I'm just going to go for a day to
Just gonna go meet this guy on the who I've met on the internet.
When's this wedding?
June.
June. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
I'll meet you if you want to drive to Birmingham. I'll meet you.
I'll Uber there.
Just Uber all the way to 4 hours.
Sounds good.
Okay, cool. What's next?
Next on the list was MCEC season 5 so far, but I kind of don't want to talk about it, so let's just skip past that and go straight into gaming
okay.
news.
Thank God.
Oh, okay. I wanted to. Okay.
No, did you want
Is
to
it
ask something
bad?
about it?
Well, yeah. How's it going? I watched some of it.
Terrible.
Yeah,
Like,
my
I watched
God.
I watched the first one. And you were complaining about being old or something.
yeah. That kind of got better a little bit, and then I had my mid-season breakdown last round, so I'm kind of
You
not
had a
wanting
mid-season breakdown? Dude, it's only a game. Come on.
to. Just on the
be
game.
mad?
That's such a
It's
weak
It's just a
mindset.
game, dude.
So weak.
Okay, Ninja.
Bruv, I lagged out of the first 2 races. And then we all know what happened in the 3rd race, or we will in, a couple minutes.
Yeah, we'll by the end of this podcast.
And then luckily I was out snowboarding the last one, which was way better.
Yeah.
Is that a direct quote in the chat from you, bruv? It's a waste of life, this? Is that direct?
Yeah, that might not be exact, but it was certainly close enough to
Paraphrasing.
Yeah. I definitely said something about waste of life or wasting life or something like. Yeah, I had
Well, did you have viewers or people watching?
Yeah. There was what
It
700-800 people around at that time.
Yeah, it wasn't a waste of time then. Were people giving you money?
It
wasn't a waste of time.
I don't think so. It
You're
doesn't
good.
really happen
You're all
during
good.
MCC races, but it's bad for my mental health. The MCC trying to organize everything on 3 platforms and get out the videos and stream each races and then think about competing. It's a struggle, and that was the tipping point when I crashed and dropped off the side of the banking and had to respawn out of a potential battle for second place last weekend, and that was the moment where it all just came crashing down. So that was it. Hopefully it's positive from here on out. I normally have these moments every MCC season. There's like one moment and it all comes crashing down, and then we're all right for the rest of the time.
I have to say, it was a fun one to commentate.
You need to take a thing out of the FIA book and implement fan boost. Right? Every race, there's a viewer-based vote. Whoever wins gets a faster car.
I like that idea.
Yeah.
Now everybody would knowing at my stream, everybody would vote for everybody else in the race.
I like that Dynamite posted Ninja's copy pasta tweet, and then someone unironically agreed with it with the up arrows. That's great. That's pretty good. That's a good copy pasta.
Is that's a quote from Ninja?
Ninja
He
said
tweeted
that,
it the other day. Yeah.
Because
apparently
RDT
he got mad at video games, and then he
RDT is now
that.
doing exactly what the internet collectively did when they read that tweet.
I'm assuming every comment was just like, dude, it's just a game.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me see if I can find the direct tweet. It was pretty funny.
Shall we say we're in gaming news?
Yeah, we can. We're in the gaming news section. This is it. Like we've started with Ninja and his stupidity, but it's just a game. So gaming news.
I'm trying to find it. I can't seem to find it. Maybe he deleted it. That'd be a real shame.
I'm sure there's
Like,
plenty of screenshots.
When
around.
it comes to other things outside of video games, that's a perfectly fine quote. Like if you just
I have no
become
interest in
content,
fighting you, Tfue. I don't hate you. I don't want you to fail. But I also don't appreciate you using my Twitter being hacked as a publicity stunt. It was a breach of privacy, which no one deserved to deal with. You're incorrectly spelled, making it worse for me in helping him. Okay, excellent. Cool. Ninja, why am I following this? Yeah, I don't know anything about Ninja. I don't know.
It's insane.
I know he said the N-word once.
Oh, hey.
The hard ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah, here's the tweet. Hold on, I'll link you to the tweet. Hold on.
Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, what I was going to say was like...
Nos is already on it.
I'm trying.
That quote is good if you're not talking about video games. Like, if you do just become content with, this is the way it is,
Hammer.
then yeah, but...
As a life philosophy, maybe, but any specific. I feel
not
like
a video game,
it's
bro.
one that I don't subscribe to. Absolutely not.
It's in the choke chat.
the phrase "it's just a game" is such a weak mindset. You're okay with what happened, losing, imperfection of a craft. When you stop getting angry after losing, you've lost twice. There's always something to learn and always room for improvement. Never settle.
All right, I agree with some of what he's saying.
Yeah.
Right, like self-improvement, like sure, but getting angry after, like, you don't have to get.
You don't have to get angry to have self-improvement over something.
Yeah, exactly. Like the fuck.
But
God.
I feel like the main, like, I think he followed it up with various things, like, he's something that he said in years gone by, where it's like
No. Listen, no. We don't care about context here. All right.
No. He said something about, like, you wouldn't go to LeBron James and say it's just a game or something like that. And then there's a clip of LeBron James in a press conference afterwards saying it's just a game or something like that. Like,
yeah.
It's just I think the way that he said it was just So
Oh, it's a good meme. It's a great copy pasta.
it's a great,
absolutely.
yeah. It's turned into something great.
Jesus, that's amazing.
I
But
don't know.
I just want to
Oh.
respond to Black Knight. He said, "Aren't we supposed to be seeking contentment?" Yeah, I think we are, but I think what we're trying to say is, or at least what I'm trying to say is, that quote applies to if you're content with being in a worse situation. Like if you know that you can be better.
If you're
Like,
unhappy, being content
Yeah.
with being unhappy.
If you're content with being unhappy, that's an issue.
Yeah.
But if you know that you can better yourself, then you should keep going.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, being content and striving to be better are not mutually exclusive.
That's true. Yeah. You can be content and also strive to be better.
I don't think they're mutually exclusive.
And you don't have to get angry and on your high horse about everything just to be able to seek improvement.
Yeah, maybe you need to improve your self-control and controlling your emotions if losing in a video game makes you so angry.
I've
Maybe
just,
you need
I've
to
just
seek improvement.
posted the excerpt of Ninja's book in the choke chat. If you
Wait,
want to
Ninja's
see
book?
Ninja's book.
Ninja's book?
Oh, yeah, he's got memoirs. He's got memoirs.
Oh, okay, good.
What?
He's a young, rich, successful man with a book. Can
I read this?
Jesus Christ.
Can I read this whole thing?
Yeah, do it.
Yes, please.
Okay,
Okay,
RWD.
so this is from the New York Times bestseller, Oprah Winfrey Book Club, Ninja Life Incomplete or something.
Hold on. What is the title of this book?
Yeah,
Can
what's
we
the
get this?
title?
Just a game. No. It was just a game. No. Hang on.
There's no way he wrote a book, chat. He had
Bruh.
a shadow writer.
Okay.
No way.
He did. He's so good.
I believe that he wrote this.
Okay, here we
Just
go. I'm just
glancing
going to read
at
it
how
out.
this
I'm
is
just gonna read it
formatted, I
out.
believe he wrote it.
It's
So-
called Get Good. It's called Get Good.
You've
Are
got
you
to be
serious?
kidding me.
It's called Get Good, my ultimate guide to gaming.
Oh my god.
By Tyler Ninja Blevins.
Oh, that is like...
Okay, so here's a little reading hour from
Alright,
Tyler
audiobook.
Ninja
Here we go.
Blevins.
Coming to Audible.
Here's the thing about having a competitive mindset. You have it or you don't. You don't have to have one to enjoy playing games. But if you're serious about being the best, your will to win is going to be the fire that keeps you fighting. In everything I've ever done, soccer, video games, whatever, I've always wanted to be the best. I hated when teammates would say, "Tyler, why are you so mad? It's just a game." In the middle of an actual game, I'd reply, "What are you even doing playing if you don't actually care about the game?" Would you ever say, "It's just a game," to Tom Brady when he's playing in the Super Bowl? Of course not. I'd be easier on myself if I didn't have that mentality, but I do. And I probably wouldn't be where I am today without it. These days, I'm better at understanding that not everyone shares that attitude, and that's okay. But you should really ask yourself, why do you really want to be the best? What keeps you going? How are you always going to challenge yourself to improve? You can practice as much as you want, but unless you're hungry, you're not really going to see the results you want, and your time would be better spent just playing games rather than trying to master them. Amazing.
I mean, the majority of people are pretty happy
Said
with just...
smug, arrogant prick Tyler Blevins or whatever he's called.
Words to live by.
Jesus.
Words to
Like,
live by.
I've just realised who Ninja would be. Like, the kind of character who he would be in my life. He's the kind of person who, when you go to the park for a little game of football, he's shouting and screaming at everybody on the team when you let a goal in or something like that.
I'm open.
Yeah, it's just a chilled out game, man. It's just a Saturday. We just want to play some football. That's all we're doing.
I think that the mindset of wanting to be the best is such a childish mindset, in my opinion. Like there's being the best. You want to aspire to be the best that you can be, and if that happens to be the best, that's great. But wanting to be the best, I think that's childish.
Have you guys
He's
ever
not
seen the
best.
Disney Channel movie Brink?
No.
The roller skating. Okay, well, if you have Disney Plus, watch Brink. It's a fantastically 90s movie, but he's the bad guy in that movie. He's the bad guy in this movie. He's the one that's supposedly the best there is and all that stuff. And then the guy who just loves being, playing the game wins in the end.
Yeah, because without the stresses and the pressure that you put on yourself because you want to be the best, it's almost as if you're clear-headed and able to play at a higher level.
Yeah. Oh man, wow.
Wow.
I would have been better off not knowing that he had a book.
Your life would have been better if
Should
that
we-
hadn't have existed.
Should we have a weekly segment where we go through segments of his book and laugh at it?
Oh god,
Oh God, no.
Shokanizer book club.
No, that's a little too much.
Yeah, or maybe just general books from a different crazy content creator on YouTube or Twitch that decides they need to write a book each week.
Does FouseyTube have a book? I bet he does.
Does
All right.
Alinity have a book
Let's move on from this
from our
person.
book club?
To Warcraft 3 Reforged. I'm
know
gonna.
anything
I mean,
about it.
I've
Josh?
I've seen the videos and I know kind of about it, but Josh, you can.
Okay, yeah.
explain.
Okay, so it's just more old video games getting brought. So a while ago, Blizzard made a new launcher thing called Battle.net. They took the Battle.net name and they made a launcher out of it. Because previously their games, double clicked them, they ran. But they put Hearthstone, their big new release at the time, into this launcher, and you had to play it through that. And slowly over time, they made it so all their other games had to be on this launcher, and you get updates and stuff from there. Blah blah blah. Whatever. That's just I'm starting. Backstory. Then they remake StarCraft 1, that's fine. And then they announced this remaster for Warcraft 3. Now, Warcraft 3 is a pretty big game for fans of that series because after Warcraft 3, they made World of Warcraft and then never made any more Warcraft ever because World of Warcraft.
Kind of like GTA.
Yeah, kind of. So there's Warcraft 3, which was an RTS, nothing like World of Warcraft, and then World of Warcraft was some spin-off side project they were doing for funsies. And then, obviously everyone knows how big that is now. So they dropped all the RTS stuff altogether. So if you liked Warcraft 3, you've been stuck there for all these years. And they finally announced a remaster to it, Warcraft 3 Reforged, and at BlizzCon they have trailers and stuff with new cinematic cameras and better multiplayer and better ranking system, I think, stuff like that.
And it's
so
exclusive to mobile, right? Right? Is that what it's
No.
Okay. What, you got some phones?
But everyone's hyped for it. A bunch of really old school Warcraft 3 players start getting prepped for it, like Grubby. Have you guys heard of Grubby?
No.
Nothing about
Okay.
Warcraft.
Okay, well, Grubby's a fairly big Blizzard esports player, person, competitive guy. And he plays MOBAs and StarCraft and stuff. But he loved Warcraft 3, and he was still playing it even before the remaster was announced. So he was fucking on it. He was doing nothing but Warcraft 3, preparing for it for months up to it. Then blah, 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 lo and behold, Warcraft 3 finally comes out. All of the things that weren't promised, but were whenever you watch a trailer for a game and it says not final product on the bottom, everyone reads that and goes, "Oh, so it's gonna get better?" And it's like no. It might just not be in there at all, right? So they had streamers at BlizzCon playing through a version of the game that had really fancy cutscenes and all this other stuff. And then the version they released didn't have any of that, and they just they took the old version and slapped some new models onto it. I'm gonna have to find. I think
That's
I have a
pretty
list.
cool.
It was basically a remaster that wasn't really a remaster in any reasonable shape.
I've lost my list. I didn't note it down, but they made it worse in a million ways.
Yeah, because the remaster got tied into the old game as well, right? So if you had the old game, you couldn't just go back to the old game and be able to play it as it was, because all the changes that they'd made to Reforged, they ported over to the old game as well.
Yeah, exactly. So you couldn't even play the original version anymore. I can't remember. Oh yeah, I'm starting to remember. Okay, so custom games, Warcraft 3 custom games were legendary in the sort of things you can do in it. Dota was made in Warcraft 3. Why did my list run out then?
That's the important one. That's the one everyone knows about.
There's tons of possibilities.
Towns of Salem. I think they had like football games and stuff. I can't remember all of them. I should have known. This was like, the problem is this was like almost a month ago. It was like after our last one, so I forgot to note stuff down. Yeah, but yeah, tower defense. Yeah, it all comes from that maze survival. Like all sorts of these like niche genre things all come from Warcraft 3 custom games. Well, this time, after the whole Dota debacle, where Blizzard tried to get the rights to Dota, but Valve hired the guy that actually made it, and there was some legal battle for like who actually owns Dota, the people that made the video game that it was made in, or the people that made it, right? Long story short, Valve won. Blizzard, they're not falling for that again. So in their new like EULA, like the terms of service or whatever, if you make anything in a Warcraft 3 custom game, Blizzard owns it 100%, everything in perpetuity or whatever. Right? Yeah, that one.
Blizzard owns you.
Big words. Big words. Yeah. I watched Shark Tank once. I heard that word.
There's some other stuff.
I think because of that, wasn't there a lot of custom maps that like were very popular that didn't work anymore either because Blizzard wouldn't allow them because they now own the stuff and they have to be careful of copyright for things and you know.
Yeah, things like that. Yeah, no one's gonna make stuff for it either. Yeah, new stuff, and then like they removed like custom campaigns as well. So there's like a ton of mods that just don't work anymore. I don't know.
Basically, it was a remaster that made the game worse.
Yeah, way worse in so many ways.
Why do they always do that? Why is the remaster always worse?
Yeah, and because they ported everything to the Battle.net launcher, the things are automatically updated. You can't play it without anymore. So now the situation is you can't actually play online anymore unless you play the new crappy version. So the old version that had perfectly working online and people have been playing it competitively for like 15 years or whatever. Now they can't anymore unless they like emulate LAN and stuff. And all the pros, like Broughy, that was preparing for months for it, just was like, oh, this is crap. And then they're like, you know, their whole like long-term plan of what they're gonna do is like ruined. So Broughy went back to StarCraft, and he was like the hardest of hardcore Warcraft fans, and he's just like, yeah, StarCraft now. After a remaster came out, the Blizzard have announced like tournaments for it and all sorts of esports they committed to supporting and stuff. So now that's going to be all shambles and whatnot.
Well, I actually saw something about that in a video that they were holding a tournament for it. I think it was a DreamHack, and it was on the Warcraft 3 Reforged, and this guy was like the underdog, and he was having the game of his life and actually winning against the guy who was expected to win, and the game crashed. So they had to restart it. He was winning again, and the game crashed again.
No.
So then they turned off a certain setting and went back to like old style like visuals or something, and that actually made it work. And I think he ended up losing. Like was like and it's like just stuff like it's so
I would be
bad.
heated. That would
if anyone had any money on that, all of the bets would have to be rescinded.
Yeah.
That's like.
That's so bad.
Yeah.
So yeah, good job, Blizzard. You're not doing yourself. I mean, Blizzard are basically just Activision at this point.
It's yeah, but it's so bad because the StarCraft remaster, to my knowledge, was fine and everyone was fine with it. And that's like the original StarCraft is still like one of the biggest esports in Korea. Like, and Korea loves StarCraft. They have like TVs and stuff. Have you guys seen the GIF of like the StarCraft players coming out of like planes and stuff?
Oh, really?
Dude,
like,
they love it.
Yeah,
they pack stadiums. It's crazy.
Yeah. So they were okay with StarCraft remaster, I'm pretty sure. So it's ridiculous. But yeah, this Reforged thing is annoying because I was excited to play it, but it's just I'm trying to find where it.
Video games are just so disappointing now.
I know. It's such a shame.
That's why I don't play video games anymore. It's just like everything's disappointing.
I was relatively not disappointed, but not as enthused as I thought I would be, or people seem to think I would be about Spider-Man. And I think you had a similar feel about that, Nos, right? Like you didn't.
Yeah, well,
did you
it
make it
was
to the
just-
end, or did you just?
No, I never finished it because I got all of the open. I wanted to do most of like the open world side stuff, like as I went along, and it just got to be too repetitive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I couldn't
was-
handle all that, and I kind of pushed through to get through to the end of the story, and I think the final like 5 missions or something were probably the best part of the game. But everything leading
I
up to
mean,
that, I kind of
like,
just felt it was
objectively,
just.
Spider-Man is a good game. It's a great like
Oh yeah,
spectacle fight.
it's better than the vast majority of games that are out there. Yeah.
It's just I got tired of it because I played too much of the extra stuff, and I mean, one could argue that's my fault. You should save that to the end or not done it. But I don't know. I would make the argument that it should have
but-
been engaging enough to keep me going.
A lot of
So-
the game that isn't side quest stuff is repetitive as well. There's
Yeah.
like whole sections that are just repeated, like the base sections and whatnot, that are just it's just copy paste. There's so much filler in it.
There is a lot
It's
of
a really
filler.
nice looking
Yeah.
game. It controls fantastically. The story on the whole is okay, but there's so much filler in it. It totally.
The Mary Jane sections killed it. For me.
Oh yeah,
God.
that's terrible.
Yeah.
I didn't
like,
mind the Mary Jane sections, but I hated the Miles sections.
Racist.
They were so bad. They were so stupid.
I think the Miles sections would make more sense to you if you watched Into the Spider-Verse.
Dude, that movie was so good. I just
Yeah,
watched
I
that.
still
last
haven't
night.
seen it.
Very good.
Yeah.
I watched that. Ooh, good. Very good movie.
Amazing.
Still haven't
is.
seen
High
it.
quality.
Good movie. I recommend. Because Miles is the lead character in that movie.
Yeah, I mean, I knew that,
Yeah, he plays Venom, right? No.
but it was just the actual parts of the game where he was in it. Like it was in such stupid situations, and he was making such stupid decisions that it just took me right out of it.
I think he's a child, though. I think children do that.
Anyway, we got totally off track there. Do you want to move on to the next bit of gaming news?
I mean, if you'll let me do it, this is
I will. I will allow you to not linger on it too much.
Okay.
Oh, coronavirus.
Yeah. This is
What a fun
the,
game.
This is the COVID-19 segment. This is the
None of us are
COVID-19
Chinese.
corner.
Why should we be worried? We can't.
38% of Americans wouldn't buy Corona beer because they think it causes coronavirus.
I'm really not surprised.
That's what I saw the other day.
And they all have votes.
And they all have fun.
Come on, don't they know that that the lime actually destroys the virus? That's the added lime.
Anyway,
Yeah.
carry on.
Okay. Yeah. This is the coronavirus corner.
Oh God.
No. There's some short gaming stuff. So yeah, the coronavirus is affecting a ton of gaming stuff right now. One of the I'll do the sad stuff and then I'll do the funny thing. So GDC, the Game Developer Conference, where all game devs like meet up and have fun and also do business and whatnot. It's like the E3, but if E3 wasn't for public. That's been postponed because people kept dropping out of it, like companies. It's like for ages GDC were like, no, it's still going ahead. Please buy tickets and stuff. And then like Amazon dropped out and Microsoft and Unreal and Unity, and eventually enough people dropped out. They're like, okay, we'll postpone it, right? But postpone means cancelled.
Yes.
That seems to be happening to a lot of things, like car shows and
Yeah.
phone shows and all that kind of stuff. I'm kind of expecting TwitchCon to just do the same thing. But
That's probably another thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the ESL that's happening in Poland right now. They were maintaining that it was happening for ages, and then like a day before the event, I think like a governor of the region or something basically told them that they weren't allowed to have a mass public event. So they had to announce that they weren't going to have any audience and attendees and stuff, just the actual players and the esports. So a bunch of people had traveled there and just got there. And they're like, oh yeah, you're not allowed in anymore. So
Now they're just wandering the streets,
Yeah.
infecting the entire
yeah,
population.
it's,
with
like,
coronavirus.
it's like no different whatsoever. It's so weird. So that's happened.
And then there's lots
also...
of I was just gonna say like there's thoughts that like PS4 and Xbox One might be delayed until next year instead of this year because everything's made over there as well.
What did it affect the new consoles? Like, I mean,
No, it's
workers.
It's where they're made.
It's where they're made, Doss, in China.
People
since
aren't allowed
when
to
do
go
we
to work.
care about their quality of life? Okay,
God.
I mean, let's be honest here.
They can't
Come
work
on.
if they're dead.
Bruh, dude, there are nets outside the windows. We don't care about them. Like, I'm right. All right, it's terrible, but I'm right.
Yeah, they might delay the new consoles.
Why
But
are you
Let's just keep going.
something that is affected right now is the Switch, and Nintendo. There's like because of the new Animal Crossing that's coming out soon.
Is that coming out
I
on
need it.
time?
It's 28th, right? March.
23rd.
Is it not coming out the same day? Are they
21st.
delaying launch? Because I want that game so bad.
No. Animal Crossing's coming out. It's the Switch bundle, the custom Switch that it was supposed to be in.
Fuck that.
Yeah, that. But like some people don't have Switches and are buying them for this game.
Yeah,
There's,
I
Switch
want
shortages.
to, but I won't
Well-
because I'm cheap.
Yeah, I mean, probably won't be able to find one. They're pretty short stock in some places, maybe not America. So there's all that stuff's happening because of. But here's the funny bit of the lighter news. When the virus started in China and stuff, and everyone was like, "Oh, what's all this hysteria and stuff?" One game actually benefited quite a lot from it, and that game have you guys?
Pandemic.
I've seen the article.
I'll let. Yeah, it's chat knows. It's Plague Inc.
Oh god.
Never heard of this game. It's a game where you take control of a virus and try to take over the whole world. It's like a strategy game where you try to craft a virus. So it's like you can make it so there's a long infect time before any symptoms show up, so you can get past authorities and stuff.
So
like that.
so you can get into Madagascar and
Yeah, stuff like that. I've never played it, but I've heard about it.
Isn't it a mobile game? Or did
It is now.
Start?
It used
It's
to be
available
a
on
Flash
mobile.
game, I think.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
it used to be called Pandemic. It was like a flash game, and then they made it.
Okay. I've only seen it on phones, I think.
Yeah, okay.
Remo has pointed out in chat, China has now banned the sale of it.
You're skipping my thing. You're skipping it. No. Right, yeah. So it started out being like super popular, and it rose to like the #1 game on the Chinese App Store and everything for ages, and everyone was playing it and talking about it for like I don't know 2 weeks until eventually mysteriously the Chinese government bans it for illegal content, which is super vague.
Man,
Good old
that's
China.
something we can all hate. It's the Chinese government, huh? Terrible.
Yeah, it's
Chinese
just
government, very weak.
it must just be because like you can kill China in it and it's like bad image and stuff, right? So
Unreal.
they have very weird media controls there.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking
Interesting.
hilarious.
It's amazing how that happens. That like something like this can happen, and that
Yeah.
a game can just randomly out of the blue have a big benefit from it.
Yeah, it wasn't like it was doing anything for like it's a really old game.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that big in Asia, and all of a sudden it blows up. It went viral. Guys, later.
He did it.
He did it. He said the thing.
It's funny. It's funny you should say that because as soon as they were starting to mention coronavirus, first thing I did was I went and looked at Corona Beer's tweets. They've not tweeted anything since 2017. Their marketing team.
Oh, really?
I was like,
asleep at the wheel.
they should all be fired and never be allowed to market in.
Man, have you not
marketing
seen
ever
Wendy's,
again.
dude? Wendy's
There's so
is
many
on top of
things
the
that you
game.
could do with that.
Yeah.
So many things.
I know.
It's like, oh, boys, we've finally gone viral with this beer. But
Oh,
no,
yeah.
no tweets since 2017.
Yeah, that's bad.
Idiots.
Well, there you go. I guess we can use that to lead into the first part of the racing corner. But before we do that, let's open up the phone bank a little bit later.
Racing
So
corner.
yes, racing corner. We're bringing it back.
You complained about this last time, Nos.
Yeah,
You
we're
complain
gonna
about it
print
all
every
the time,
single
but now
month.
I've got someone who's actually going to.
Okay, look, listen. You can have racing corner if RDT Hammer and I can talk about the Fury and Tyson fight because I'm sure.
what a
I'm
fight.
sure we. because I went and watched it myself.
I
What
didn't
a
actually
fight.
watch it, but I kept up to date on how it was
Gypsy
going.
King,
It
boy.
was- I just want to see someone like boxing. To me, is so stupid because of all the different governing bodies or whatever it's called. Like it's so dumb. So I'm only really going to be fully invested and interested in it when someone's fighting for all the belts all in one
Fury
go.
Joshua, baby. That's the fight.
Yeah, that's it. Like that's all I care about. But it's interesting to see. Yeah. Anyway, open up the phone bank. If anyone wants to ask a question to any of us, Discord, phone bank. If you're a regular Patreon
ask
supporter,
me
Twitch
about my
subscriber, YouTube
job.
member.
Ask me why I want to die. Ask anyone, whatever. We ask any questions.
Don't
Don't
ask
ask
us
me how I
that.
want to die. I'll lie to you.
Yeah, that was amazing. Did you see that Wilder came out and said that his costume was too heavy and that his legs were tired?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he was tired.
Which
Poor guy
ain't
was
too
tired.
hard to believe
Yeah.
with his tiny legs. You see his
Oh,
tiny
legs.
legs. They like
Dude.
that. I got bigger legs than that, man.
What did you weigh in at? Like 232, 237? Like, yeah, really, the 40-pound weight is going to kill your legs. Jeez, I think it was the 270-pound man that was hanging on you the whole fight.
Yeah, probably.
So yeah, F1 schedule might be in jeopardy thanks to the whole coronavirus stuff.
Is this virus actually that big of a deal? Like, is it actually like?
Okay.
Apparently.
Okay. So
Like, I feel like it's not actually.
A lot of people died so far. So, yeah.
no.
I think they're old people, though.
Yeah. It's basically just another flu, right?
Yeah.
Like if you get it and you have medical conditions or you're old, then yeah, you might die from it, just like a normal flu. But it's just a little bit more contagious than that because nobody has immunity. The reason everybody's panicking is because businesses don't want all of their employees to all get ill at the same time. That's all it is.
The media seem to be really hamming it up, like really
Of course.
deadly
I mean, it
virus
sounds like just
spreading.
like swine flu, like the H1N1.
Like
Like,
this
Yeah,
virus.
it's not as bad as swine flu yet, I don't think, but it's worse than like SARS and stuff like
I
that.
had that. It
it's-
wasn't that bad.
I
mean, I
mean,
think
we
they're just
have
cowards.
guinea pigs with bloat that we have to
Yeah.
worry about.
Yes, exactly.
I don't care about this damn coronavirus.
Won't
Yeah,
someone think about the corporation?
Yeah, it's more contagious than other things, but it's less deadly. So
Yeah.
it's like we just have a new flu now. It's not good. It's kind of shit. Stop eating raw animals, but you know, it's not the end of the world.
You know what? I will eat a rare steak if I want to, sir.
I mean, that's probably okay.
Medium rare.
I meant
So this
not
bit-
as bad as swine flu in terms of how many people have been infected and died from it, not necessarily the rates of death from people who have it.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, surely the more people that have it, the more people that are going to survive, and the mortality rate will go down.
Well, that's not really how
That's not how
percentages
that
work.
works.
What?
That's not how percentages work. Like,
What? How is that? Not? Explain this to me.
well,
math
if it's
man,
got like a
with your
2%
numbers.
death rate, then whether you've got 100 people or 1,000,000 people, you're still going to have a 2% death rate.
But no, it currently if it currently right now has a 2%
don't fight
death
this.
rate, and then like 2 million more people get it and then survive. And
Well,
no
yeah,
one else
if they
dies,
survive, but then it
surely-
wouldn't have a 2%
Yes.
death rate anymore.
Exactly, the death rate goes it goes down, right? That's-
My God.
Yes,
Oh,
I don't
hypothetical.
understand.
So you only die from it
mathematics.
at the start. Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Formula One, the race has been at least postponed in China,
Yeah.
and whether it'll happen or not, we don't know. But you know that it also puts into question whether just like other gaming events have been, or all sorts of events have been cancelled. Formula One or other sports are no different. So that's kind of where everybody's at the minute. Nobody really knows.
Yeah, they especially don't want it to happen in Formula One because if all of the Formula One paddock staff get ill at the same time, it's pretty bad, right?
Yeah.
Like, so it's not going to work. Yeah, let me look at the schedule again. I remember I looked at it and laughed. So first up
Is
is
Daniel
Australia.
Ricciardo okay? Is he okay?
Yeah, he's
Oh, yes.
Maybe.
he's fine.
Yeah, first up's Australia, right? And they have all the fires and stuff.
Oh, Jesus.
So everyone, so like that was like in like iffy status. It's probably better now, right? I actually don't know. Did fires get better, or did the media just stop talking about it?
Yeah, probably more likely the media just went on to something else. They can get more clicks out of a virus than fires in Australia.
Yeah, so you've got all the Australian fires. Bahrain, I mean, that's probably fine. Vietnam is the third race.
Oh boy.
It's like, ah! Like, if Vietnam and China doesn't happen, the next one would be the Netherlands, which is like a month later, or two. Is it? Wait, when's April and May?
Netherlands is the same time as TwitchCon. It's on the same weekend.
Yeah, I saw that. I was thinking of doing both, but
I am.
can't.
Oh, I'm at least doing both right as it stands right now. Whether things get cancelled or not, who knows? But
probably, maybe not. Yeah, then there's like Spain, Monaco. That's probably fine. Azerbaijan, Canada. Yeah, so we'd be okay later in the season. But well, I mean, it depends how things develop, right? But the whole start of the season, other than like maybe Bahrain, is looking pretty iffy.
Yeah, we'll have the first race and then nothing for months until the second race because they're all cancelled.
Yeah,
it'd be an interesting season.
Yeah, a really weird season. Yeah, wonder what the points are going to end up like.
Yeah. Mercedes with their DAS system.
Yeah, have you seen this?
Dual axis steering.
Yeah, sounds really fancy.
Yeah, so they've got they can take the steering wheel and pull it towards them. The steering wheel doesn't just go left or right anymore. They pull it towards them and it changes the angle of the wheels.
The toe-in.
Yeah. So normally the wheels are angled slightly outwards to help with cornering. But where that
so on straights that's worse.
So yeah, it's worse on straights. So they've devised a system where they can make the wheels straighter on the straights and then put them back to be angled again. It seems unfair.
Yeah.
Well,
it seems
the
unfair.
FIA have said it's okay for this season,
yeah,
but it won't be allowed for next season.
It's almost as if Mercedes and Ferrari have significantly more money than the other teams, and that causes them to win a disproportionate amount of races.
No, if anything, this is good. It's not Mercedes just resting on their laurels the one season before the big rule change. They're like, oh, let's try this wacky thing, right? Like, this is good. Maybe everyone will start implementing it. We'll have crazy shit this one season before they change all the rules.
Yeah, the wheel angles will be changing all the way through the race and probably break and then cause people to crash, and maybe that will cause some interest.
It'll be. Do you remember the F duct?
Oh yeah.
Oh my god.
It'll be that.
Wasn't that where they had to put their knee over a hole or something? The drivers to make it go quicker.
Yeah,
they had to take their hands. Some of them are knees, some of them are hands, and change the airflow or something. Or it stalled the rear wing. That's what it did.
It's so strange, like these little things that they come up with. Like, just race, for God's sake.
Well, they gotta go fast. Well, if you like cheating, Nos, there's more news. Ferrari.
I like cheating.
Yeah. Ferrari last year, at one point in the middle of the season, their engines suddenly went a lot faster. And they were suddenly like pole positioning a ton of races, and everyone was like, that's a little suspicious. And for years leading up to this, because there's like strict fuel flow rates on the engines because they're hybrids now. So then they're not allowed to use a lot of fuel at all. They're trying to lower it all the time. Ferrari have been messing around for years with ways of bypassing the fuel flow limiter and rates and stuff. They've been leaking oil into the engine and stuff. There was one time where there's been hints of it happening for ages. One time, I think it was Vettel's car just suddenly started pouring out black smoke out the back because it was getting too much oil into it or whatever. And everyone's like, that's suspicious. So last year, they suddenly gained a ton of speed out of nowhere. All the other teams are like, yo, what the fuck, mate? And trying to ask them what the hell's happening. Get the FIA to clarify.
Direct quote as well, of course.
Yeah. The FIA was like, no, there's nothing suspicious happening. You're not. And they got the FIA to reassert that you're not allowed to bypass the fuel rate limiter in any way.
Yeah, hey, you're not allowed to cheat.
Yeah. They basically were like, hey guys, just so you know, you're not allowed to cheat. And then suddenly, miraculously, Ferrari went a lot lower all of a sudden. A bit suspicious. Well, what happened here was mentioned Verstappen's quote. I don't remember what that is, Phil. But yeah, Verstappen said something funny about it during the middle of the season last year. But anyway, at the start of now, because they're doing testing right now, I I have this as a direct quote from Autosport. 10 minutes before the final day of testing was about to end, the FIA announced. Let me find the announcement. Let me click it. I had it somewhere. The FIA announced that they've reached a settlement with Ferrari following an investigation into the engine it raced last year. It's the specifics of the agreement remain between the parties. The FIA and Scuderia Ferrari have agreed to a number of technical commitments that will improve the monitoring of all Formula One power units for forthcoming championships, blah, blah, blah. Basically, the FIA was like, wait a minute, Ferrari, you are cheating. And Ferrari was like, we'll tell you how we did it if you don't tell anyone we were doing it. So rather than get like...
Snitching.
Yeah, so rather than get like banned from the last year or whatever, Ferrari have like...
They ratted on it.
Yeah, they politicaled their way into not getting screwed. So they've kept it all under wraps.
And this is why Formula One is terrible. All of this.
Would it not be usual scumbag Ferrari tactics to go, yeah, I mean, we were cheating, but if you ban us or if you ban us from races or anything, we're just going to fuck off and not race in F1 anymore. So you won't have anybody to race with. So that's usual scumbag Ferrari.
Flavio would be proud. Flavio would be very proud.
That's what they do every time. Yeah, they just fret they're going to leave. That's why they have like their free veto.
Yeah, they're straight out the Flavio Briatore playbook. Ferrari, good job. Scumbags.
Yeah. The FIA and the fact that they released it 10 minutes before the end, like all Ferrari and FIA people left early, 10 minutes early, so no journalists could ask them about it.
Of course.
And now we wait like weeks until Australia, but they did it so purposefully right then. Autosport were fucking pissed. It was great.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's so strange.
And Drive to Survive Season 2 has released.
That's the good news.
I haven't watched it yet. I haven't even watched Season 1, actually. I watched the first 2 episodes and I stalled through it. I need to catch up on it, but they're really good on Netflix. Drive to Survive. It's going over each of the previous 2 seasons of Formula One from behind the scenes. And it's really, really entertaining.
Yeah, Formula One is a thing that you need like background context for to enjoy. You need to know like, why this driver hates this one and why this team is good at this sort of stuff and whatnot. If you just watch it without any context, cars going round, right, and nothing's happening, it's boring. Well, Drive to Survive on Netflix is basically the context taken out of the racing and just made into like a drama sort of thing, like a real life reality TV thing, I guess.
Yeah. I guess it gives you the context for the upcoming season.
It's the lore.
Yeah, the lore, yeah.
Yeah.
So they took everything that happened last season, took all the racing and cars and stuff out of it, and took all like the human stories and, I'm making it sound bad, but it's actually, I enjoy it as well. It's really good. It's a great way to catch up.
A lot of people have watched it.
If anything's going to be entertaining in F1, it has to be that, because it's certainly not the racing.
Yeah,
so,
I can't not agree. Yeah, I guess
pretty accurate statement.
Yeah.
Why are you booing?
Yeah.
I'm right.
So definitely watch Drive to Survive. I haven't watched it yet either. I need to. I've seen memes going around about it.
Moving on. Speedrun Corner. This is
Speedrun Corner.
Your area to talk at us.
Carry this.
Yeah, okay. We need to mix these up. So just me talking a ton in the middle.
Look, don't compare anything to current NASCAR. Okay, listen. Current NASCAR is the worst travesty in motorsport I've ever seen. Okay, it's disgusting.
Okay.
I've heard bad things
F1 is
about
better
it.
than NASCAR.
Don't they do some sort of like shootout at the end of a season now where all your points in the season mean nothing?
I just know that there's like stints now and there's like, it's so complicated. Like, dude, just put 50 cars on a big circle for 500 laps. The content makes itself. It really does. I mean, it's I don't understand why they have to complicate it.
Speaking of NASCAR, while we were away, we had that bad crash, and the guy was like, "Oh, it's cool, I'm fine."
Yeah, it's Ryan Newman, I believe. Right?
I never saw that.
Ryan Newman's old school. He's been
footage of the
NASCAR.
crash.
Yeah,
30,
kind of. I
40
kind of want to
years.
see
Hell
it.
yeah.
I'll show it on the podcast before Racing Corner is over. We can include some crashes.
So what's new in the world of speedrunning? Is that what we're talking about?
Here in a
Hang
second.
on. We watch a crash first.
I mean, I do want to watch a crash.
There you go.
Ooh. Oh, that
Yeah,
thumbnail.
when the
Oh, yeah.
The
with the
thumbnail
thumbnail.
immediately tells you that this is going to be a bad time.
3 minutes? No, come on. I need a timestamp. Where is this?
Is it straight away?
It's gonna be straight.
Yeah,
It's
it's like
probably
20
straight.
seconds in. It's all right.
All right. This is like we're looking at joke of the week.
IRL choke of the week.
Yeah. Oh, my, it's
Oh,
struggling.
Okay.
there's a car spinning. Maybe it is
Good
in
old-
20 seconds. When
Go
is
on
it?
YouTube.
He's in second right now, they say. Newman.
I think it's 1 minute in.
Yeah, it's about a minute in. I
But
just skipped
my,
forwards.
Ooh.
Oh, you didn't do that.
God damn it! I can't show it
oh.
because nothing's working.
No.
You might want
Nothing's
to.
working.
Don't react.
Oh
yet.
my god.
Okay.
You
yeah.
might want to refresh YouTube. Brough mine
Holy
does that
shit.
sometimes. Where it's
Oh, yeah.
infinite buffering.
Oh my god. No. I'm just kidding.
There's limbs everywhere.
Who put that baby out
All right, I
there?
think we got it.
This was apparently one of the first
Oh
ones. where,
Jesus, that is huge.
they had to cut him out of the car and like had to cover up the car while he was being cut out and stuff.
Oh shit, is that pouring fuel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it goes on
Oh.
fire. He was out of hospital like 5 days later. He was cool.
Sorry.
Wow, that's insane. That's huge. Oh my god.
And big wreck.
Yeah, that's a massive crash.
You don't want to get pit maneuvered in first place.
No, from
Fall into the
first
rest of the
to
field.
that.
Yeah.
Ouch. At least he's okay. If
I
he
figured
hadn't have
let's
been
show the
okay, we
crash,
wouldn't have
see
shown
what
it.
dude's hurt, you know?
Yeah. If no one's hurt, then fuck it. We'll look at explosions.
Yeah.
Oof. Damn. That
All right.
Hey, why does
barreled
nobody
into
have,
him.
I mean, I wonder why. What does it matter if somebody's hurt? I still want to see the wreck.
Why didn't he call him out? He should have waited for that.
Yeah, he should wait for that.
All right, speedrunning corner. What's new in the world of speedrunning?
Okay. So annoyingly, most of it was like 5 days after the other podcast, and it's been a month, so it's kind of out of date now. But I mentioned it briefly last time. ESA was running like this Mario 64 break the records competition thing. They flew 7, I think, maybe 5. I think maybe 5 of like the best Mario 64 120 star speedrunners, which is like how many stars they pick on the run. They flew them all from like various bits of the world all the way to Sweden to like play and see who could get the best time at the end of 3 days. But they did it because there was this big bounty. So like people put money on like, hey, whoever can find this thing in speedrunning I'll give them this money, or whoever can beat this arbitrary milestone, like 1 minute or whatever. Whoever could beat that time, I'll give a ton of money. There was like $10,000 riding on whoever would beat a milestone or have world record in Super Mario 64, 120 star. There was like $10,000 riding on it, just from random people just putting money up because they wanted to see a ton of competition and stuff. So then ESA was like, they see a opportunity, so they flew all the players out that could possibly get it to one place, and they did like it was this new format that no one's ever done before. It was a really good idea, really good format. It was, they had all the runners, they all had their own little station bit, and their game feeds were being captured to one central PC. And then on the layout, you could see everybody's runs because they were all just running simultaneously. But then they had one big camera view of the layout. I think the guy who made the layout was Zoten. He was in the chat earlier, but he could explain it. But anyway, they had one big layout, and they had 3 people. They had Fuzziness, Noisy, and a Smash commentator. I can't remember who's interested in speedrunning. And they were like commentating it like 24/7, not 24/7, daylight hours. They were commentating it like 12 hours a day. So it was this really interesting format. It wasn't like esports format where everybody turns up and, you know, they say go and whoever finishes first wins or anything. It was like normal speedrunning situation where you just play a bit, and if a bad thing happened, you lost too much time, you'd like restart and stuff. So they're all happening simultaneously, and whenever someone got on a good run, they'd commentate it. But they did do this one interesting thing where at the end of the day, before they finished, everybody had to finish one we call a no reset run, where like you start a run and you don't stop no matter what happens, and they do that for fun. On the second day, I think, or was it the third day? On one of the days, Cheese, who's like the best player there and had the most chance of doing it, he got on a really good run and he actually beat the world record live with people commentating it and stuff, and he won like I don't know, fucking like $12,000 or something. I'm not sure. But it was like a crazy hype moment, and it was really cool. Me explaining it doesn't do it justice, obviously, but you're like watching, you're like watching this live, and it's just like, you know, they're just playing, like, and people like just commentating and stuff. But then they got on like a run, and everybody's like silent, and they're like, oh, is he gonna do it and stuff. But it was a really cool event. It was a really interesting format. I've never seen like a speedrun format like that before, so it gives me hope that there is sort of esportsy format to that sort of thing in the future.
I mean, that sounds like a good idea, having just everybody doing their own thing, and then when something good starts to happen, you focus in on it, and then it builds up, and it sounds pretty good.
It's a bit like what they do at like poker tournaments, isn't it? They have different tables set up, and then when things are happening at specific tables, and the cameras will go over to them.
Oh, look, Negranu's doing something again. Look at him.
Yeah, it was like an amazing moment because they had like, normally when you watch a run, it's just like one guy popping off in his mum's bedroom or something, right? Mum's basement, not mum's bedroom.
Whoa!
What?
Wrong website.
It's in there because it's her computer. Okay, she bought the computer.
But they had like a ton of really like good runners and stuff, and they had like a bunch of commentators and stuff, and everyone was like, you know, going crazy and hugging and stuff. It was great. But it was a really cool format, and everyone, including me, had doubts before it was live. Everyone was just like, oh, I don't know if this is going to work and stuff. But they proved everyone wrong, and it went really well, and it was quite good.
Good.
Yeah.
GG.
It was a good format.
For winning that money as well.
Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy money.
Yeah, money's great.
How long does it take to do a Mario 60? What's the world record?
Money is great.
It's like over an hour, I think.
Oh wow.
I'll look it up. But while this was happening, please tell me I actually noted this down. I did, yeah, okay, sort of. While this was happening, a bunch of other things were happening in speedrunning at the same time. Let me find it. Yeah, so did I tell you guys about Ocarina of Time arbitrary code execution last time?
Yes,
you did. Yeah, where you can do whatever you want.
Stuff.
Yeah, they're like programming it. Well,
That's
then,
crazy.
yeah, that had like escalated. So all of this, there was like one crazy day in speedrunning. I can't remember what day it was. February the 2nd or something like that. But like a bunch of stuff happened. Like crazy world record in Ocarina of Time was found. The Super Mario 64 record got broken. They found arbitrary code execution in Majora's Mask. Like I said, would probably happen. The GoldenEye community, GoldenEye and Perfect Dark community, because they're similar games. They compete in what we call ILs, like individual level records, because when you play a level of like GoldenEye, at the end you have like a little timer and it tells you how fast you did it. So everyone's trying to like do super optimal like little mini runs. They released one of their projects where like a bunch of people save a run, like a new world record that they got, and they released them all at once, so like this big thing, explosion-y thing of like, all these new records and strats and stuff. That happened on the same day. The Wind Waker, a new barrier skip got found that works. In Wind Waker, if you don't play the Zelda, there's like at the middle point of the game, you go to like Hyrule Castle, and there's a big cylinder barrier that prevents you from walking to where Ganon's tower and stuff is, and the whole rest of the game is you trying to break that barrier. But everything outside the barrier was loaded, and you could just walk straight to the end of the game. So for years there was like barrier skip was like a theoretical thing. They found it in the HD version, and then there was like a really crappy version in the original, really crappy way to do it. Well, anyway, they found a new way of doing barrier skip. They had all these elaborate things for years and all this crazy stuff that people were trying to find. The new barrier skip is you do a bunch of precise movement, get into a certain position, you hold a bomb above your head, and then you drop it, and it nudges you through the barrier. It's fucking amazing.
I mean, you just walk to the end of the game.
Yeah, and then you just walk. You have to fight the end boss and stuff. It's like other crazy things they have to do, but it's insane. They get like it. They spend like 5 minutes setting up this exact perfect angle. They're like rolling specific ways and getting right into this little corner bit of the barrier because it's made of polygons. And then they like pick up the bomb and they spin the camera, and on a certain frame that the camera goes round, they drop it just the exact way because the bomb like gets bigger and smaller. And on that exact frame in this exact position, it pushes you through the barrier. It's amazing.
That reminds me of those videos of like cops with those breaching things trying to break down doors, and then they just twist the knob and it goes right open.
It's like that.
It's like, oh.
Crazy things have been tried for all these years, and all you had to do is just push yourself through it with dropping a bomb on your head.
That's so ridiculous. There's the whole
speedrunning's great.
Yeah.
There's some other stuff. Final Fantasy VII got a new glitch where like the materia, which is basically if you've played a Final Fantasy game or any RPG, it's basically your level sort of system, like what skills and stuff you have. Like in Pokemon, you have like 4 moves on your Pokemon and stuff. In Final Fantasy VII, you have materia, which is basically your stats and stuff. They found a glitch that like lets them do whatever they want to any materia and have anything anywhere and stuff. So that's ridiculous. And the other final thing was that the Guinness World Records, the Guinness, the company that do records, they set up a Guinness World Record challenges on Speedrun.com.
Oh wow!
Yeah, they set up official things. There's like, they set up some challenges. In cooperation of Guinness World Records, we are launching some Guinness World Record made categories. The world record holder in these categories can apply for an official Guinness World Record title and will receive a Guinness World Record trophy on their Speedrun.com profile. Okay, not an actual trophy.
Yeah, that's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, I was like, a trophy? And then, but they set up whoever can beat all 6 bosses rematches in Super Mario Odyssey, something God of War, and whoever can do something on a map in Minecraft the fastest. So yeah, Guinness World Record are doing stuff. But this all happened on like the same-ish day.
It just
like
blew up.
Yeah,
Speedrunning world.
Ridiculous.
That's crazy.
I can't remember what day it was. I'll post. Easy Escape made a really good video about it. I'll post that in chat. There you go. Oh right, I'm not allowed to do that. Oh yeah, right. My
Rip.
bad.
I think Josh should be a regular in the chat.
Yeah.
I'll link it in choke chat, and someone who's allowed.
It's okay. You should be able to post it now.
Okay, all right. I'll when I'm not banned.
God, I love Guinness.
But yeah, the Easy Escape made a good video about it. But it was just a ridiculous day, and it happened like 5 days after the podcast. So
yeah,
it's
typical.
all over now, and I've forgotten all about it by the time we're talking about it. Yeah.
I like how speedrunning is basically just breaking games. I guess that's when you boil it down to it. It's just anything that you can do to break a game.
There are some unbroken categories and stuff, but yeah, mostly just breaking it.
Yeah.
What's
more interesting, the broken stuff or the unbroken stuff?
It really depends on the game and the situation.
I think it has to be like completely broken or not broken at all.
Yeah,
like, if it's only a little broken.
What's the point?
Nah.
Yeah.
If you ask, well, a lot of my YouTube comments are just like, "Oh, well, you're just cheating. Stop cheating!" Right? Like, it's like, no, it's in the game and it's in the rules.
like for instance, mission duping in San Andreas, like from a technical standpoint, like it's very cool that is done. But from a viewer standpoint, like I would just rather see those missions that are skipped done like more optimally. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
but now the new stuff where you just complete the game in like 5 minutes. That's wild.
Yeah, it either has to be the
gotta
absolute.
be-
You want the absolute quickest time possible under any circumstances, and the absolute quickest time playing it as it should. Anything in
Well, not
between,
as it should. Well, it
like
in
going
some
through the
kind of-
game properly. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah, the term you're looking for is no major glitches. That's what
yeah,
we call it.
yeah.
So like you're allowed like little things, but no like skipping like whole missions and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's funny because I'm a fan of the middle category actually.
Okay.
Screw the other two. The middle one's where it's at. Skip. You do a lot of technical stuff, but you just don't beat the game in 15 minutes. Yeah, and the only other thing for speedrunning is that I'm wearing the hoodie. Just came back from ESA Winter 2020, which for oh god, what am I trying to say? Okay, I can't remember what I was trying to say, but I'm affiliated with ESA a little bit.
Transparency is what
Transparency,
you're
that's it. Fairly...
Maybe start by explaining to some of our newer viewers what ESA stands for.
We have new viewers.
Wait,
we barely have viewers.
Whoa, he's like Superman.
Yeah, it does, I was wondering if it said it on this shirt, but it just says the logo.
Something Speedrun Association, I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, it's European Speedrunner Assembly.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a speedrunning marathon in the style of, not in the style of, but similar to GDQ stuff. It's basically exactly the same thing, but in Europe. And it's a little smaller, a little more like cozier, I'd say, I guess.
If I come to ESA, can I commentate a run?
Sure. What run though?
The essay run. That's the only one I know about.
Okay. You know enough about that. But yeah, I just came back from there. It was like a week-long thing. We were raising money for Save the Children this time, and it went really well. It was like, for like organizational wise, smoothest event we've ever had. Nothing went wrong. The schedule is incredible. How the schedule's formed is we get like runners to submit their runs, and they give like an estimated time and stuff, and then like some people pick what runs they want from all the submissions and make a big list out of it. The schedule. Normally, what happens is runners will give a low estimate, and then bad things will happen, and they'll go way over estimate, and the schedule gets messed up, or some other runners won't turn up, or whatever else. But the runner schedule didn't shift once. We never had to change anything. It was the first time it's ever happened.
That's kind of remarkable, just from a technical perspective. Like that people aren't like that. That doesn't happen.
Yeah,
people don't show up for their shifts. I know that firsthand.
Yeah, everybody turned up on time and did their run in the estimated allotted time. It was perfect. It was great. But there were also the other elements of it, like the fundraising team, which I'm part of, which is like the donation readers and like, you know, people making donation incentives and stuff and all that sort of thing. That was perfectly smooth as well. Everyone showed up to their shift. We had a backup reader shift this time. We had like the main reader that was scheduled and a backup one that was scheduled to help them and stuff. All perfectly fine. Everything was amazing, and we raised twice as much as last year.
Hey,
like
nice.
ridiculous. We raised $60,000.
That's
Dude,
brilliant.
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's really good.
And some of it was because of myself, actually. So I did some runs there. I had a little mini Josh block at one point. I'm going to tell the whole story of it. I had any percent, which is the whole 15-minute thing. But then I had this mod, the Chaos mod, which you know, Nos, right? The Chaos mod?
Yeah.
There's this other mod developer, Twitch extension developer called Jakku, and he and some other guys make a thing called crowd control. Basically, it's a little extension where you pay money, like you use bits to do stuff to the game. So it's basically Twitch chat voted Chaos mod, but instead of like voting for one of 3 effects every minute and a half, they just press a button, give some bits to charity, and it does a thing immediately.
Spawns a tank or something.
Yeah, it spawns a tank or kills me if you have enough money. right? That was that thing. It was like $10 to just insta kill me, or $15 or something.
Wow.
Yeah,
the
so
run must have lasted forever.
yeah, it was scheduled for like 2.5 hours for just Los Santos. And I didn't get anywhere near it. I did like the first 6 missions. I couldn't do it. People found really funny ways to do stuff, but at the start of it, because this is the first time that Crowd Control had tried to use Chaos mod in SA. They normally did like Zelda stuff, so it's the first time they've ever done a GTA thing. So we were like, you know, right before it, we were like sorting out prices for stuff and making sure things work and whatnot. When it came to the actual run, it worked for like 5 minutes flawlessly. It was amazing. But then everything just stopped, and I'm just sat there just playing the game, just like, okay, I guess I'll just play like normal now for a bit. And everyone's like, oh, it's fine. It must be working. People just aren't buying things. For like 2 minutes, nothing happens. And I'm like, guys. So then Jakku sat there like frantically programming on his laptop, trying to figure out what was wrong. And I was just stood there, and it's like, I'm the one on stage, all the lights and cameras are pointed at me, everyone behind me is just like watching me, and I'm just like, well, I could just sit here and play the game normally, but that's kind of crap. So I was like thinking on the spot, I was just like, okay, well, because I was doing this first and then any percent after. So I made the suggestion, we'll stop this for now, and I switched to any percent to buy them time to fix it, right? And everyone was like, yeah, good idea, Josh, yeah. So they did that, and then we're like, but then we have to like, in the middle of my run, I'm like rushing around. I have to like, install, like get a different version of the game running and get a different commentator for it and stuff. And if you remember my explanation of any percent, it's like super technical. I have to millisecond precision things to make things work. But long story short, because I was so frazzled and worried about Chaos Mod, I completely messed up any percent. I never actually did it. It just, the explanations were horrible. It all went terribly, and I'm just sat there. And you know, I don't know if you know that feeling when you're on stage or giving a presentation and things start to go wrong, right? And I'm just sat there, just like, oh no, right? Like,
you know, you can't save it.
Yeah.
It just spirals.
Yeah. We got to like 20 minutes into my 25-minute estimate for any percent, and I hadn't done the glitch even with safety saves, which makes it way easier. So I was just like, I guess we have to end this. Haha, bye. Right. So I mercy killed my own run.
Man, you described my entire dating life in that right there.
Mercy killing.
Yeah. So far, my like 3-hour block had been Crowd Control, like working a little bit and then breaking, and then me messing up any percent horribly. And I was like, okay, I'll go back to Crowd Control and hope it's working. Thankfully, they'd fixed it. It was Cloudflare changing some IP addresses or something. I can't remember what it was. But thankfully they got it working, and then I did the rest of it, and it was fun and stuff. I didn't get very far. People found really hilarious combinations. There's this effect called honk boost, where if you hold down the horn button, you like gain speed. But there's also another effect that makes everyone honk all of the time. So you see where this is going. They bought the thing that made everyone honk, and then they bought the thing that made everyone go faster when you're honking. So I'm just sat there just driving along to the next mission, and all of a sudden, like, honk, and I just fly off the map. I just leave the map behind, and the camera goes berserk and stuff. And I was like, oh no. Yeah, people were finding crazy things to do to me, but the whole time, just in the back of my head, I was just like, this is going terribly. I messed up any percent.
Yeah.
So I didn't have. I swear the story's going somewhere. So I didn't have a good time with that block. Everyone else said it was fine, but the whole time I was just like in the back of my head thinking about that. Move on to the end of the event. We're raising tons of money and stuff. We had like a crazy end goal of if we reached a certain milestone, the main organizer of the event was going to shave his head live. And that got met. And he didn't think it was gonna, and he regretted it. It was amazing.
The hair will come back.
Yeah. So then he shaved his head and stuff. But then after that, all of the organizers are in the hall, just like, oh well, we've met all of our goals and stuff. You know, we've got all of our donation goals. We're at like we were at like $40,000 or something. It was like, oh, nothing, can't do any more than this. But other people were there, like other fundraising team people, they're like, no, we got to think of more things to do, right? Like, we need to try to raise more money. There was like hours of the event left. So I walk over, and then one of the guys was like, "Hey, Josh, you can shave your head, right?" I was like, "No." And I was just like, "I could do like some fun run or something." And we'd start back and forthing for a bit, and then I realized my Los Santos crowd control run that went terribly. Oh, there's a clip playing. Yeah, this clip's great. Realized that my crowd control Kraos mod run that got like 6 missions in, I could just do more of that at the end of the marathon because we were on schedule. We have like time allotted for like, you know, being 6 hours behind schedule or whatever. So we had a ton of extra time. So we set up a goal. If we reached $50,000, I was gonna do more Chaos mod stuff. This time just Twitch chat voting, not crowd control. So it was a little bit more sane. But yeah, so then we were like making a big push to try to get $50,000. And we reached $50,000 really quickly. And then at the end of the marathon, I had to do 2 more hours of Los Santos at like midnight or whatever with Chaos mod. So it's like really stressful and crazy and stuff, but it was fun. But then an hour into me doing it, one of the other fundraising organizer lead people announced over the donation reader microphone that if we reach $60,000, I'll go for 2 more hours. I sat there. I was like, I didn't agree to this. Right? He just without me, like, asked everyone if it was okay. Like, can tech people stay up late? And everyone, you still have the hotel venue and stuff. They forgot to ask me. But thankfully it was fine.
They just assumed you would be able.
Yeah, it was fine. Just up to like 3 a.m. or whatever. But yeah, so then we hit $60,000, and then I did more of it and stuff. Yeah, it was
and
great.
I kept going, and then we hit 70, and then we kept going.
Yeah, people were like, "We're at 70." No, we had.
Josh is still playing right now.
Yeah. Well, that's good. That's a lot of money for charity.
It was really good. I hated every second of it. It was, but it was nothing worse than trying to do like a run you've practiced and you're good at, and you want to show people you're good at, and then have all this random stuff happen and mess you up.
Yeah, I know.
Everyone was like torturing me, picking like the worst effects. There's like ones where you can teleport across the whole map and stuff.
Yeah, teleport to quarry. Oh well.
Yeah, teleport to
time
quarry.
To die again.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it was fun. It went
Good
really
stuff.
well. Yeah.
Do you guys have like wild parties when you all get together?
So a few people do. I'm in the board game room.
There you go.
I'm not that kind of guy.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right.
Fastest to get drunk.
Yeah, that was my holiday. You were snowboarding, and I was raising money for charity. It's fine.
Blackout.
Got him. I was while you were out snowboarding, I was saving children.
Saving them with my sick moves.
So Speedrun Corner. Let's put a close on Speedrun Corner.
I promise it won't be as long next time. Sorry.
Yeah, we definitely didn't speedrun through Speedrun Corner.
No, that was definitely a casual playthrough.
Last episode follow up.
Now, how about that Fury Wilder fight?
Yeah.
What
I thought we talked about
there's not much
it.
to talk about. I mean, Wilder got his ass beat, yo.
He did.
Yeah, my hometown boy wasn't good.
Oh, I forgot he's from Alabama. Yeah.
Yeah, he's from like Hueytown or something.
Oh wow. Yeah, he got beat in his own game. He got bullied. It was bad, but yeah.
Yeah. I actually went and watched the fight at Buffalo Wild Wings with my boss.
Hell yeah.
And he was like, "Man, Deontay Wilder, man, he's just so cut. I mean, look at him, dude. You have to know my boss. He's one of these like high energy guys." And I'm like, "Man, I mean, if you watch boxing, you'd be a fat piece of garbage, and you still gonna be good at boxing." He's like, "Man, you're right. And sure enough, who won that fight? I just spoke it into existence." But yeah, he's a fat piece of garbage, and he won the fight. That's just how it works.
I feel like I know your boss on a personal level already. Like,
Look, I'm just saying. All right, look. England, they won the battle, they won that fight, but we won the war, the Revolutionary War. So.
Hell yeah, brother. That's about right.
Yeah. But also, I've never really watched boxing.
Mm-hmm.
When did it become WWE? Like, I was just expecting like Vince McMahon to walk out with like a briefcase of money and like, because like he came in on a chariot singing Patsy Cline.
Yeah,
Why?
well, there have always been characters in boxing. It's, you got your Roy Jones Juniors. You got Muhammad Ali was one of the biggest talkers in the entire history.
There's a difference between talking and coming out on a chariot with a crown on your head, singing
Yeah, but that was
Patsy Cline,
sick.
and then Deontay Wilder having his 40 pounds of battle armor that apparently weighed him down with a rapper spitting bars all the way to the ring.
Yeah,
Like,
that was sick.
like there's a line somewhere. There's got to be a line.
I mean, my exposure to boxing more so than anything else is probably the Rocky movies, and they always seem to like have pretty wild walkouts there, and I just assumed that was indicative of what they do in the biggest boxing matches.
Yeah, well, I mean, in 2 fights ago, Tyson Fury came out dressed as Apollo Creed from Rocky IV.
Oh,
So he had the
did,
top hat
yeah.
on. He was like doing his whole thing. It was great. It's fantastic.
It's wild.
The last episode follow up. Let's do some last episode follow up.
I got nothing.
Yeah, we never have any actual follow up. It's more about the number of comments now these days. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know why we do. I think we're just doing that to keep Phil Hoff employed.
Phil Hoff does plenty.
It's true. So our last episode was exciting new things for 2020. #ad. And there were 32 comments. 32 comments.
Oh, that's so bad. Oh
That's
my
less
God.
comments in totality than what we've had, like people actually mentioning the word in previous episodes.
Yeah. So, our word was Daytona.
Okay.
10.
Oh God, yeah. 12.
No. 25.
Oh, optimistic.
RDT?
32. I'm going to go with 19.
All right. The correct answer was 14.
Okay.
14.
Well, that was a little off.
Bruff's the winner. Well done,
yeah,
Bruff.
Yes.
Wow.
There you go. One positive for the week.
He actually
Yay.
won.
That's rough. Nobody's
yeah,
watching. Nobody's commenting.
Let's just stop.
Just don't think about the numbers.
Yeah.
We have got one highlighted comment, and that's from Ralph, who says, "Not gonna lie, Josh looks like Nos's hairier cousin, and I love it."
Let me tell you, that's a compliment. You take that as nothing other than a compliment.
I do remember from the chat last time, someone said 4 people have never met a woman, and I was like, "Wow, that's a
Man,
Yeah. That's tough.
that's a rough life. Let me tell you.
Do we have any questions? I see copyrights down there in the phone bank.
But actually, only one of us has never met a woman, and that's me.
We've got
My 3
one
other fellows are doing well.
We've got one question in the phone bank. We've got one question that had to be a write-in because we had technical issues, and we've got one thing to mention about something that we mentioned earlier that I will read out from a viewer. Right, major copyright.
Hey, you're on the show. Question, ask, please.
Nice.
Well done.
Thanks.
You're welcome. All right,
I
so
wasn't
I got a
thinking
question for Bro. Oh,
Give us a question, copyright.
I got a question for Brough. He's probably not going to want to answer considering.
You just triggered the one thing to say to trigger Nos.
Perfect.
Go on then.
We have 3 tracks this season. They are not yours.
Oh my God, no!
Just get it out. Just what's the question?
Why on earth did you choose those 3?
Why on earth? Wow. You mean like, oh, wow. Okay.
Because I like them, all right? That's it. Answer done. Get him out of the.
All right, next
get him out.
question. Next question. Get the hell out of
Bye,
here.
thanks for coming.
All right, cool.
I don't even know what track he's talking about now.
Right. Our next question, unfortunately, it was from the Luca format. He's having some mic issues with Discord at the moment, so we decided just to give him a rare write-in question. So this question is for everyone, an inclusive question. Question to all the hosts: what do you make of all the success stories from the world of motorsport through sim racing, including Igor Fraga, Jan Mardenborough, and James Baldwin? What do you make of all the success of
Who are these people?
sim racers going into motorsport now?
Well, I know some of those
they're
names, and I have to
successful.
say, like, yes, it's great and everything, but the fact that, RDT doesn't know any of those names, I think speaks volumes. That
I don't know any of
This-
them.
Yeah, I don't know.
there's still a lot of way to go. It's not that let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Do you know? Do you know who they are? Do you know what series they're racing?
Fraga is a GT Sport top driver, I think, and he won like a winter series championship or something. Jan Mardenborough was he's done a lot of GT racing, and he came from, what was that thing that he used to do on Gran Turismo? The Academy or
Coffee
something.
Right.
So he came from that. I don't know the other guy, but yeah, they're not like, yeah, they're okay. But until we see a sim race, someone who started out on sim racing, being in GP was Formula 3 or Formula 2 now, or Formula 1. I mean, it's good, but yeah, there's still a long way to go.
Incidentally, there's an additional portion to this question, and it is about the guy that you don't know about. Apparently, James Baldwin is doing a 1v1 series on his YouTube channel, and Luca has let him know about you. So potentially, you could do 1v1 on the open wheel racers on GTA.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for that, Luca. Looking forward
Does
to
he even
that
play
on-
GTA? You'll smoke
on
him, dude.
YouTube.
Dude, take him down. Take him down.
Take him down.
You will smoke that kid. All right, you take him down.
Fraga is in F3 this year. All right, now we're starting to get
That's pretty
somewhere.
good.
There's still a long way to go,
Pretty
but that's actually a step that it means something.
I know
pretty
that
cool.
there's some oval racers that come from like sim racing, a lot of them. But I don't know any names or anything. I don't
Yeah,
know
but
anything
that's
about
oval racing. That's not really.
Yeah, I
real
mean, yeah,
sport, is
yeah.
it? I'm joking. All right.
The other
What was
thing,
the other thing? Yeah.
there was one thing that we had to mention, given our recent gloss over and possibly making a little bit of light of the coronavirus. We've had input from a medical professional who says, I think it's dangerous to give health advice on a large platform when you're not a healthcare professional and you just regurgitate what others are saying. While corona shouldn't be more dangerous than the normal flu when you're healthy, you're still able to infect others who aren't perfectly healthy, which includes the elderly, babies, people with immune system deficiencies, and everyone with acute or chronic lung diseases, including people with asthma. And all these vulnerable people together are a large percentage of the population. So saying we're overreacting is maybe a little bit dangerous.
Thank God this
Did
is
anyone
a
here
large
say
platform.
we're
I was just going to say, he got one thing wrong there. This is definitely not a large platform.
But listen, if you seriously take anything we say like that seriously, all right, that's a problem. But of course it's important. Of course it's a big deal. Our job here is to make light of things. This is a comedy podcast.
There's
Allegedly.
a difference between
Allegedly.
like
But I think it's
the worlds and
I think it's worthwhile seeing that view, though.
yeah. Nothing they said is wrong.
That's the correct view. That's accurate. What we
Yeah.
said is inaccurate, and that's accurate. But accurate isn't funny. It's not fun. All right, we're not here to give accurate information.
Reality is often disappointing. So.
We're here to make just be another moron making joke about adding a lime to the wall because we're so clever and creative.
Yeah,
So-
that's fine. I just thought I'd add that as a bit of context to what we were talking about. It is
But
a very
yeah,
serious
yeah,
subject.
viruses are bad. Don't get sick. If you're sick, don't be around people who are susceptible to being more at risk.
But we
It's-
certainly appreciate the input.
yes, input, very important, very important.
That's what I was going to say.
Hopefully
We
one day we
appreciate-
will be a large platform and we can actually worry about giving information.
By the way, Australia forest fires are still going. That does not
Okay,
surprise
There you
me.
go.
We just don't hear about them anymore.
Still,
That's crazy.
They
mean,
really should do
eventually-
something about that.
Eventually it'll just all burn down.
Um,
All right, what's next?
the choke of the week. Now that we've all been
Choke
brought
of
down
the
enough by that previous comment to be, to be all miserable about the fact that we A, don't have a
Hey,
large
guys,
platform that
you're
we thought, and
stupid.
B, we're so dumb that we shouldn't be talking about important things. We're gonna now go into making other people feel bad about themselves by choking all over the place. So
I really like making other people feel bad about themselves. It makes me feel-
right. Let's see. So first one, we've got 3 separate clips. They're
Where
not
are
just
they?
in a YouTube playlist where I can just play through them all because some of them are Twitch clips. So, let's see the first one straight out of the MCEC.
No.
Have you started it?
Yeah, I started
No.
it. Sorry.
Are you fucking kidding
That's not the
me?
shirt. That's
Oh,
the crash from NASCAR.
The language. On the final few laps of a 1 hour 30-minute race. It's the final corners actually of the race. Loses 8th place to 9th. 1.5
Yeah,
hours of
it's-
driving all meant nothing.
Is
Ended up
that
last.
Oof.
is that actual 8th to actual 9th or?
Yes, but
Okay.
in that class there's only 9 drivers. There's 9 drivers in every class. So
Oh, okay. So he went from not last to last.
Yeah.
Okay, there you go. Okay.
after having a fairly good race, to be fair, and then screwing up.
Yeah, that's rough. That's rough.
Next one, I'm gonna start it now.
Oh,
So we
Hey, I
got
recognize this game.
Horses.
horses racing on Red Dead 2. Battle for the lead. Trying to kick
Can't say I've ever
trying to
seen
kick
this.
her off. Oh wow.
oh, you little turd! Come on, horsey, faster, faster.
Yeah,
Oh shit!
Sky, well, Sky Sleeper did not have a good time in that race. It seems.
Did you watch to the end of the clip?
Oh, I didn't
finishes
actually.
the racing first.
Yeah, she wins.
faster.
Yeah.
Oh, the finish line is right ahead. Okay.
Poor form,
Oh,
poor form, Adam.
yeah, that's my bad. Okay, so he just
The last
basically
bit.
he choked the win of the race. Okay, well, the chance at winning, I guess. Well, it sounds right for trying to kick.
Yeah.
Just race normally, and stuff like this won't happen.
Oh my gosh, you got such a huge boost.
All right, last one. Yeah, I haven't watched that yet.
Oh, you haven't-
I'm
you
starting that
haven't-
now.
Okay. He
Feltzer.
gets such a huge boost. Interesting choice of
Oh, it's
car
Fel- oh, there
for
we
this
go.
class.
Yeah, Feltzer against a master. Oh my god, YouTube, can you just work for once? Oh, I'm gonna refresh it. What a great way to end.
That was a good turn. Whoa!
All right, there we
No,
go.
why would you do that?
All right, I've just started it again because I'm
Okay,
behind now.
it's pretty good. It's
Okay,
pretty
it's
good.
pretty good. Okay. So it looks like he
So he's in
brake
second place.
boosted.
Yeah, he
Down
got
the
the
hill.
sick boost, the sick brake boost that sent him to Mach 3. Goes past the Masacro, into the turn, brakes just enough for the
No,
turn.
and then he loses it. Tried to be cocky. Right, jumping out of the car.
And I think he hit the pavement and then like went up,
Bounced
and
up.
then the Masacro went under him.
Ouch.
Ooh.
All right, if you're in the
And the
chat,
honorable mention.
vote whilst we show the honourable mention for Choke of the Week this week. vote which one was your favourite. First one, second one, third one.
I am.
And our honourable mention this week, the reason it's an honourable mention is probably because it would have won, and hosts aren't allowed to win unless it's the first week here. RDT, after having a fantastic race in the MCEC round 3, wonderful race, got up to second place. It's one of the best races I've ever seen him race in the MCEC. And this happens. Let's start it now.
This has been my
Full
worst
audio
race
and everything.
Full audio.
and I still
The yes.
I don't have to do another lap.
Oh, don't
So I
don't
should
play this audio. It'll get you copyrighted
Stop. Do I
Copyright.
have to stop now then?
Okay.
Because you're going to finish.
You have to stop.
at the end if it's already played.
All right.
If you're
Yeah, so I have to stop now.
Oh, it's not working. YouTube is having a nightmare.
Oh, right.
Okay, well, good. Okay, anyway, at the end of this clip, it plays the theme music to Curb Your Enthusiasm, and that will get you copyright strikes. So
Wow,
don't.
I knew that.
Although I really enjoy the inclusion of that. Unfortunately, music licensing is terrible.
So, I mean, you probably all saw it from the MCEC video, but RDT, after being in second place, stops at the end of the race, thinking that the race is over, not realising that not reading the rules and not remembering what happened in Season 4.
Poor
that
RDT.
When the leader crosses the line, everybody is then on their final lap of the race, and they finish the race when they cross the line at the end. But RDT thought that when the leader crosses the line, the race is just over and he can just stop anywhere and that's it, it's done. So he loses second place and he still finished third, to be fair. You almost got second place back because SG Appleby, who took that second place, crashed because he was so surprised that you just stopped in the middle of right at the end of the race as well. A few corners left.
Man.
But yeah, if you go and watch the Xbox One round 3 full live stream coverage, you'll see the end of that race and our reactions
Man,
to it.
that's
All the
that's
highlights
terrible.
video.
Man,
To
that's
be
heartbreaking.
fair, if you read the race end rule, it could be a little bit clearer. It says once the GT1
Technically.
leader crosses the line to finish his race, lapped drivers should line up in the order they finished after they next cross the finish line. It
Yeah,
doesn't say that.
after they
But
next
it's
cross
like-
the finish line.
It should say should complete their lap to secure their position.
But I mean,
I mean,
You shouldn't say like, "Oh, they finished the race."
Is there any race that like ends immediately upon the finisher winning getting across the line?
I don't
everybody
know.
on the track just
GTA.
stops where they
just
are.
Stop right there.
GTA, it's weird. And everyone was like, "Oh, you should reach out to Appleby to see if he'll give you a second." I'm like, "I'm not doing that. I screwed up the finish."
Yeah, you both had very good races, to be fair. Like, you both deserved the podiums, and it was just the case that, you know. But you raced in Season 4 as well. The rules were in place there as well. It was exactly the same.
Yeah. I remember Season 4. Jesus. I barely remember how old I am.
Yeah, so that was a pretty substantial chalk. It probably would have won, to be fair. That was a good chalk. But do we have votes for the actual chalk?
We do.
Ooh.
Who's picking what?
I can't. I think. What was the first one again?
The hitting the sticky
8th to
outy
9th.
MCEC.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It looked like were there only 2 people in the second race, because it looked like the race finished immediately. In the third clip, sorry,
no, there weren't
the
just
last
2
clip.
people. No, it was. I mean, it was
I
her
only see-
battling.
I only see 2 blips on the map.
I love how we're deep diving on a clip you can't even vote for because
I'm just
of
gonna go with-
conflict of interest.
I'm just gonna go with 3.
Yeah, I'm going for 3 too. I like 3. I would have been for number 1 if it wasn't just like someone going from not last to last. I feel like that's
I'm gonna go
feel like
for
that's
1
not-
because he had such a good race and completely capitulated at the end. He was in 6th at one point, and he's been struggling in GT1 after being a late reserve replacement, so I'm going for number 1.
See,
I
but you
also-
have context.
Yeah, I do have context. Yeah.
I'll say number 2 just because the horse falling over was funny.
There you go. Now you see.
I picked joke number 1 as well. I thought there was more on the line, and it was more soul crushing, in my opinion. So in third place, with 16% of your vote, is that joke number 1. the MCEC joke. In first place, and the winner of Joke of the Week, was our brake boosting scumbag who got some karma at the end of the race. With
What a boost.
66% of the vote.
I think that should happen to everyone who ever does brake boost.
Yeah.
That's what everyone who brake boost should deserves.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Everyone. Yeah, that's true.
First clip was JJ. Second clip was Xerxes, and whoever the person was that fucked up on the horse. And third person, our winner, was Baggins HD. So well done, Baggins.
Baggins. Wow.
Got what you
Cocky.
deserved, I suppose.
Cocky.
Yep.
All right. So that will do us for this month. A special stream, this one, because this podcast has taken place on the 29th of February. That's never going to happen again, I imagine.
Yeah, no. I imagine
No,
not.
we're not even, we're not going to be here in 4 years.
Even if we are, we're not going to be
Not on a Saturday.
on a Saturday, no.
Yeah, I'll probably have to work.
Yeah, the next 29th is a Thursday.
Okay. So
I'll probably have to
I'm not doing a podcast on a Thursday. Screw that. Are we letting the comments die? Is that what we're doing? Are we gonna keep it going?
Just let him die. It's dead. They're
I want
already.
that YouTube interaction though.
Let's make a
algorithm.
let's make a thing, right? The word will be I don't know, what can the word be? Think of something.
Cocky.
I was going to
Don't
say
tell
something
me.
like
That'll get
leap year or
censored.
something because it's like
That'll get
censored?
but-
Yeah.
Yeah. Then Bruff will have to approve every one of the
Yeah,
comments.
I'm not doing that.
Sounds
Final.
death.
It's just a game. There you go.
It's just a game, all right. It's just a
There you
game.
go.
It's just a game is the phrase that you have to use in the comments on YouTube. If we don't get 30 people using the words, it's just a game, we're not doing this segment anymore. Where we
That
try to
doesn't
guess the
include
word.
People repeating.
No. It's just one. Each individual. We need 30 individual separate people.
Actually, if we don't get those 30 comments, we're not doing the show anymore. So you better.
Oh, that's a big ultimatum, that one. And it doesn't count for you guys in the chat who are saying it right now. You gotta.
you got to go on Monday or whenever he posts this these
Thursday.
days.
You have a month. You have a month
Thursdays?
to do this. Thursdays.
You do this on
Thursday.
Thursdays now?
Yeah, Thursday is the video score.
Thursday's a good podcast day.
Yeah.
Thursday's my podcast day.
Oh, okay.
But also, I don't know when the next podcast is going to be because we've got MCEC every weekend of March. So we're going to have to fit it in somewhere.
I think you should just do it during your race.
Yeah, we can do that. Yeah.
Yeah, that works. All right, that'll do us for today then. Thank you guys for listening or watching wherever you are.
Yes, thank you. I have to
wanna-
go to work now.
Yeah, have
Oh,
fun,
yeah,
Nos.
shit. How long has it been?
Have fun putting out
It
all the
don't matter.
fires.
Not the ones that heat the pizzas though.
Yeah.
Keep them keep them going.
Yeah, don't worry. I'll keep that one on.
All right, we'll see you guys next month. Do you want to say goodbye, guys?
Goodbye, guys.
Goodbye forever.
Bye-bye, guys. See you later.